FM 202.
That sucks.
Lesbian.
I like that in a woman.
And every other kind of deep.
I love paying for sex.
This moral decay weakens our resistance to the onslaught of the communist masters of deceit.
We're a bunch of scumbags.
These abnormalities are corrupting the minds and the hearts of our children.
Jackass.
I can't believe it. Pedophile humor. It's depressing and horrendous. It's awful. It's a bunch of idiots.
Perversion for profit.
Here it comes! Here it comes!
The Opie and Anthony program.
El virus.
The Opie and Anthony.
God, that irritates me.
It's just like somebody took a bat to my brain.
We're the only radio show that makes you want to hate us.
Opie.
I want my coffee.
Anthony.
I want that fact.
Jim Norton.
I want Ozzy.
We are going to dumb this thing down to the point that we're going to be #1 with Down syndrome children.
Terrible.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
No, it's bullshit, bro. I'm very calm. You're insane. Come on, man. I'm very calm. I didn't say that. I don't blow off people that I like. Right now. You're right. That is bullshit. Holy shit, are you kidding me? Now, stop misquoting me. I don't know, dickhead, because I don't know what was going on that day, fuckface. You know that's what I was talking about. We were not going to do that, you ass. I'm paranoid and I have issues. Aw, don't get all angry and yell.
Whatever, Jimmy.
You are insane. You're right.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Stop whining. Quiet.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Stop with the semantics. Well, you got to calm down a little bit.
God damn it! Are you fucking with me?
Now we're having fun.
And welcome to the Opie and Anthony program.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Breakfast.
How's your tuna fish, Anthony?
Toonie.
God, where do we begin today? Oh, my
What a weekend.
God.
What a weekend we all had, huh?
Really, you think?
I think.
No.
It was fun-filled.
The message boards had a
Oh,
great
my
weekend.
God.
They had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was like
Over, I hate to tell you guys, in the end, nothing.
major
Over
traffic.
nothing.
I was really entertained over the weekend checking in on the message boards and looking at the just thread after thread of speculation and accusation, masturbation, just throwing things out there. Some people that had pretty good insight on the situation at hand and what was going on.
Were you posting?
I think I posted like twice, but it was just pretty much quick little hits. Nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't have any long dialogue or any long monologue that I posted to answer to any of this. It was pretty much just, guys, what a bunch of tools. What a bunch of fucking tools.
I got to tell you guys something. You know, a lot of people look at me like I'm insane.
Well,
Read
yeah.
your posts on the message boards.
Yeah.
Read your posts. You're listening to the perfect show for you.
Wow.
At one point, they thought that you should lead the show.
Yeah. I don't know how I got dragged in. You know, I read a couple like that. You know, Anthony really didn't support his showmates. Him just sitting there. And then another one was like, him just sitting there is proof that it was all fake. Because he would have jumped in. And I'm reading these just going, do you know when... And I would try to convey this at times earlier, maybe years ago on message boards, but I pretty much gave up. But do you know, and I'm talking to the people out there and some of the people that were posting and all this, do you know when you absolutely know something to be true because you were part of it, and then somebody says that it wasn't true?
Right.
Do you know the feeling of what an asshole you get looking at the person that, because it's you. It's you living it. You know it to be absolutely true. And someone saying, no, it wasn't true. Do you know how you feel about that person? How stupid they look to you because you are absolutely sure of what happened? That is what it was like reading some of these posts. Dude, so fake, such a bit, I can't believe any of you are falling for it. And I'm just thinking, how stupid these people come off posting stuff like that. First of all, no offense to Jimmy, because he is an actor. You know, he has done some acting. No offense to you, you're not an actor, but for anyone to assume that for almost an hour, for just about an hour, these two guys could put on a performance like that and hold it together and actually act like that, you're insane.
Oh, we would have pulled that for April Fools if we could have pulled it off.
There's no way. and based on past performance, we just don't do that. We don't do that fake radio.
Well, we're getting some of the message posts, some of the posts from the message boards there.
Mm-hmm.
Nathaniel just handed these in.
This is Smokey McPot. That fight was pretty funny. I'm a pretty good judge of character, so I think I know where it all stems from. Opie is annoyed that his show that he started is beginning, in the beginning, is kind of being hijacked by Norton.
Wrong. Try again.
On the other hand, I think that Jim might kind of get bothered by Opie sometimes. I mean, he's in shape, fairly good-looking, and doesn't pay for sex. So that's Jimmy's problem. Opie's my fave guy on the show. Sure, he doesn't do impressions or make fun of Lacey Peterson, but he keeps things together. This is Ack, I guess. I must say, after listening, I could swear it was real, but taking everything into consideration, I think at this point I'm 50-50 in favor of it being a bit.
Oh, God.
Taking into account Opie's recently talking about smoking pot and the fight being replaced with a Tommy Chong bit. See, here's the you guys are assholes. God, they look into everything. Did you see the post where they looked into the song that was played after the fight?
Oh, the Nine Inch Nails song?
The Nine Inch Nails song.
Right.
Dude, they were like, dude, did you hear what... Jesus.
Shit's going down, dude.
Did you hear the song? Oh, it is in there? Cool. Also, his now positive stance with XM would be part of that gag, like when you're high and you're just positive about everything. Playing the hand that feeds from Nine Inch Nails coming back from the break sounds like a little cue they're screwing with us, because at that point the argument was over, and I don't think Opie would have taken a jab like that at that point. Opie, did you know Nine Inch Nails was being played?
Yeah, and I was at the time, because after the fight...
I mean, did you play it yourself?
Oh, no.
Did you know it was coming up?
No.
Of course not.
Of course not.
That's more people speculating and posting that have no clue how things work in here.
We pick a lot of music that we want to play coming out of break, and then the guys in the booth, I don't think they even purposely played it. It was just coming up randomly, and that it just happened to go that way. Right, Derek? Ben actually picked it. So
There
maybe
you go.
Ben was messing with the audience a little bit.
I must say it was fake. They are, if it was fake, they are the greatest actors. They were so quick back and forth and pretty much never hesitated, and it sounded exactly like those intense fights you have with family or friends. Because it was an intense fight with a friend. And the more I think about it, here's another one from Dupree. The more I think about it, the more I blame Ben Sparks.
Ben just threw his arms up in the air.
Like, what would I do? His gossip is probably what started a lot of this in the first place. Opie brought him in to verify that Jimmy had problems in the past with some of the shows. Who knows if Ben is right or not? It's pretty obvious that Ben and Jimmy don't like each other very much. It's pretty obvious, dude. Oh, my God. There's a deep love there.
It's just amazing. Anthony and I have been doing this show together for 10 years. Jimmy's been doing the show with us off and on. Well, now on,
Last
obviously.
year we were at NEW.
So he's up to, a few years himself now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of sad that the people that listen to the show really have no clue how it works. They really don't. Some of you do.
You can't blame them for not having a clue. That isn't even I wouldn't even go there. I'm not blaming them for not having a clue. I'm blaming them for intense speculation without any basis, without any clue. Like, if you don't have a clue, that's fine. But now if you're basing these really strong opinions on not having a clue, you're an idiot.
Right.
And we read them and go, oh, my God, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Totally wrong.
And it was kind of sad, but, you guys do what you want with the message boards, but just watching everyone pick sides and try to, do the divide and conquer and all that.
Unbelievable.
It was
unbelievable.
We're talking about the huge fight on Friday, obviously, that I thought, in my mind, was a 10-minute fight.
No.
That's how intense it was.
No.
I had no idea.
10 minutes. I thought it was 3.5 hours.
Really?
But from me sitting here, from everybody else except for you two, it went on and just wouldn't stop.
If you asked me, though, I would have said, it was like a 10-minute fight.
Yeah.
I mean, notes were being, thrown in front of my face, move on. And
no, that went on.
And that made me laugh. I'm like, when you're in that really bad zone where you're fighting and stuff, you can't just stop it and go, okay, that was a good radio bit. Let's move on to something funny, everybody.
Yeah.
But for people to divide and conquer, and they just don't get what this show's all about. None of us are going anywhere.
Everybody got reamed on the boards. It was so funny.
The best
to
was
go through.
I expected to get reamed, of course. Jimmy got reamed, of course. But I didn't think they were going to throw you under the bus.
Oh, I get reamed too. Yeah, there were a few of those. I'm reading them going, what did I do? I just sat there. Dude, that's just it. Just fucking sat there. What the hell was I supposed to do?
Absolutely amazing.
If Anthony, it's so telling that Anthony didn't jump in. It just goes to show you that he doesn't like these two guys. What? The speculation running wild over the weekend. The message board, Whackbag at least, crashed so many times. They had more traffic than they've ever had. It was insane.
All the message boards were crashing. I took a peek here and there, posted a couple things really fast, and that was it.
I had a couple of posts. Said like 1%. Said 1% of the people posting in the thread had good insight on what was going on. 49.5% were complete tools, and the other 49.5%, I put some derogatory thing about their mother. That's pretty much it.
That's what it gets.
That's what it degenerates to.
Yeah, you know. I just wish some of the smarter people that have a little intelligence could kind of, take controls of those message boards a little bit.
Never happened. It's not the nature of the beast, man. The message boards are what they are. And when you realize that, then you're fine with it. There are some people, Opie, not as familiar as working with message boards as the seasoned veterans that are on this show.
Right. Well, the one thing I want to say, for the people that want me to leave the program, let me explain something to you, okay? And I'm going to say this. Anthony and I are complete equal partners here, complete. And Jimmy is pretty much an equal partner at this point as well, okay? That's a fact. But the reality is, this whole show was my vision like almost 20 years ago. Do you people understand where this show started from?
Yeah.
And you think I'm just going to, walk away from it? Never.
Yeah, leave.
Never.
God, leave.
When I walk away and we go our own ways, I will definitely leave radio, and I bet Anthony goes off and does something completely different, and he'll be just as successful. But as far as this show goes, I'm not going anywhere. This was my vision 20 years ago.
Where's he going?
It started with just me and a bunch of stupid records getting goofy in between songs, and then developing from there. But the vision started back in 1985, something like that.
Yeah.
And then Anthony jumped on in 94. So we've been at this a while.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's not going anywhere because Ant and I, we're very calculated. We talked many times ago, it would be cool to have a third person in here. So Jimmy's not going anywhere.
No one's leaving.
No one's leaving. And Anthony's not going anywhere. I mean, he might do the show from
leaving.
a bubble suit or something.
That is my goal.
Leaving.
That is the goal I have. Like you had your vision, I have mine.
Right.
Doing this program from an antiseptic bubble.
But for the people that just don't understand the players and what they do for the show, you really got to start listening a little longer.
No, they'd rather
and concentrate
speculate.
a little longer instead of just speculating. You get one little tidbit of information, and then you lose your minds and say really dumb, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
It's really, really fun to look at the speculation based on nothing, based on stuff that they are sure that we did on purpose, that when I read it, I go, it was such a passing thing, I never gave it a second thought, and I barely even know what they're talking about. But they have it in their minds as such a calculated thing that we absolutely planned. Unbelievable. Now, you spoke with Jimmy.
Of course I did. By the way, Eric just handed me a note. 37 pages.
37
about the fight
pages.
that happened on Friday. Well, here's the deal. Jimmy and I went at it big time. We both have a lot of stupid tension in our lives. Jimmy's got the HBO thing that he's preparing for. That's the only reason he's not here, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say too much until he gets here on Wednesday, But I want everyone to get back on the same fucking page because it's a very exciting night tomorrow night. We're all going down to see Jim Norton tape his HBO special.
Very exciting indeed.
So, as far as the fight and as far as, picking sides, I like Jimmy better. I like Opie better. I like Anthony the best. Anthony is the true glue of the show. Jesus Christ. Calm the fuck
Shut
down.
up.
The reality is, I don't regret that it happened, but we are on the same team is what it comes down to, okay? I knew after we fought that it was going to be fine. I just knew. But I couldn't talk the rest of the show. I just had a raging headache. And I even apologized to Anthony after the show. I'm like, dude, I wasn't trying to be a dick after the fight. I couldn't even talk anymore because of the tension in my head. All right? So then we cooled off. And then on Saturday, Jimmy called me. I would have called him, but he beat me to the punch. I wasn't sitting there like some diva waiting for him to call me. Trust me, I wasn't at all.
That's after the phone calls I took.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I talked to you. I talked to Jimmy.
Oh, really?
Before you two talked to each other.
Were you like the mediator, unofficially?
No, it wasn't a mediator. You guys obviously didn't need a mediator, but I was kind of the, is it cool to make the call guy? Like, I talked to Opie, and then I talked to Jimmy. And it was like, yeah, Well, you think it's a... Yes, of course, call.
Were you starting an alliance with Jimmy behind my back?
That's exactly what was happening. People, start your speculation.
Right. It's like to Jimmy, you know, dude, I've been noticing the signs for a couple of years now. I really think if we do this right, we could get him kicked off the show, and it'll be you and I.
It's so obvious what needs to be done here.
I did show up to work today without shoes.
Yeah, you did.
And I, you know, after Friday's show and, like, all the uncomfortable looks I did get when I got in today, and now I'm showing up without shoes and my hair askew.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I rollerblade to work every morning, and usually right out of the shower, so, you know, it's windblown and it looks, like, awful, but I don't really care, you know. And I walk in, and usually I throw my shoes in my backpack.
Yeah.
I forgot. Because I was rushing out of the house this morning, so I'm showing up into the office with just no shoes on.
And when you do something crazy like that, you have to address it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first words out of Opie's mouth.
Oh, yeah, because I saw, like, the looks starting. Just starting, and I'm like, all right, I got to squash this one right away before one of these guys secretly posts on the message board, he's now showing up to work without shoes.
I'd assumed you took your blades off and you were in between, you know, taking the blades off and putting your shoes on.
I go to Anthony, dude, don't think I'm crazy. I just forgot my shoes today. It's going to be a little awkward walking around the office trying to do a radio show without shoes.
I said, you think I think you're crazy because you don't have shoes on? After Friday? So that was the whole thing, too. It was like, yeah, I'm crazy because I washed my hands after Tippy Tom is in the studio. But after Friday's display, yeah, I'm the crazy one.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, of course Jimmy and I talked on Saturday. Jimmy and I, the reality is, and this is what's going to make a lot of people laugh, we're really, really good friends.
Yeah.
Extremely good friends, okay?
You guys hang out more than I think anybody else on the show.
Yeah, we're really, really, really good friends, and it was just one of those things. It's like brothers fighting. It's like friends fighting. Let me tell you something. Anthony and I have had some of these fights behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, it's what happens when you work every day with people.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone
no
through
knockdown dragouts like that. Certainly didn't last that long.
No.
They were quick.
Quick.
Even, you know something? Give a little tidbit to the old listeners. There were a couple that were really heated right before the mics went on at NEW. None here. Seconds before the mics went on.
Seconds. Yeah.
But the professionalism showed through back then. And you didn't have the insane Jimmy factor.
Right. It was weird because...
But there were a couple of times where seconds before the mics went on at NEW, we had a tiff.
Tiff?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Pretty good brawl.
I mean, where people would leave the office, remember those?
And go, oh, boy.
And then we'd walk down the hall, like, hating the other person. This is going way back.
Say nothing.
Say absolutely nothing to each other. Turn the mics on and make believe we were the best of
Ooh,
friends.
Here goes the show.
And then the mics would turn off, and then we wouldn't even look at each other or talk to each other.
Yeah.
It was the most uncomfortable 4 hours
God, that did
ever.
suck. Oh, Jesus.
We did a few of those, actually.
Yeah. Not many at all, though.
No.
Really wasn't. It was a handful. Probably in the whole time we were there, if it was 5, it was...
Yeah.
I don't even think it was that many. Probably 3.
Yeah, well, you know. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years, so a few,
you're
few
gonna
tips,
get,
whatever.
You know.
But anyway, so, yeah, Jimmy called me, and he goes, hey, Ope. I go, uh-oh, awkward moment. And he just starts laughing. I just start laughing. And I swear to you, within less than 2 minutes, it was totally cool. Totally
done,
cool.
over.
Completely
back to
cool.
goofing.
And then we talked for, like, I don't know, 40 minutes just making each other laugh really, really hard about BS crap and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy will give his take on Wednesday when he's here.
Yeah, Jimmy called me up, and at first, like all Friday afternoon, I didn't take any calls. I just let the machine pick up because I really didn't want to deal with anything. I was exhausted. Just wanted to lay down and do nothing. So Saturday, I get the phone rings again, and it's Jimmy, so I answer it. And he, you know, because I didn't answer his message, he had called Elo, and Elo didn't answer either. So he was like, I'm thinking was something going on, like we're all conspiring, like, all right, it was obvious Jimmy has to go. We got to get rid of him. He's going to be fired. He just doesn't know, so I'm not taking his calls or anything.
Yeah.
Jimmy, no, nothing's going on. Don't even, you know, you got this HBO thing. Keep that in your mind. Don't worry about this shit at all.
Poor Jimmy.
It's over and done with.
Of course it is. But
and then I was thinking, oh my God, imagine if I didn't answer that call. He'd have been insane. He'd have jumped out of his window.
See, if we really were twisted, we would have not answered his calls all weekend.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that to the little guy.
No, of course not.
Oh, Poor little guy.
So, no, we all have to get on the same page immediately,
Mm-hmm.
no matter whose side you were on in the fight.
A lot of people picking sides.
Oh, my God, because the HBO thing is happening, and we really, really want to support and need to support Jimmy too.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all going to be O&A fans there
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow night. We're all going. It's going to be great.
Yep.
My brother got in on the action, man. Woo.
This was a part of the battle on the message boards over the weekend that just had me roaring. You know, I love your brother, and that he is so naive as far as these things go.
The message board?
So new at it. It was adorable to watch.
But you know what? He doesn't care. That's the beauty of it.
I know.
That's the beauty of it. See, that's my barometer, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I got problems. I know I got a switch in my head that goes off. That's why in the past we used to joke about the psycho factor in my head, blah, 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 comes out from time to time. But what happens with me is nothing compared to what happens with my brothers. I talked to one of my brothers about the fight, because he didn't hear and he listens every day. My brother Brett.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Did you give him that Hughes anger?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I did."
Whoa.
We're known for this stupid Hughes anger where we just go down to just being asses.
It was brutal.
And just stringing curse words together. Do you got one of those?
I think so, yeah. Computer's got to come back to life.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, thank you.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, good. It's rebooting.
Oh, it's rebooting now?
Yeah, computer locked.
All right. Well,
That's
Anthony.
good. That's good. I should take that and smash it.
Ooh.
That's what I should
Ooh, that's
do.
outrageous, Anthony.
I'm crazy. I'm wild. Isn't that good? Why should you have to log? Can a computer sit next to me for 3 minutes and not go into some mode where you have to enter? I have to come down from the ceiling on wires like Mission Impossible and not hit the lasers that are going and turn it back up. Why can't it just sit there?
I don't know.
Oh, Opie, this isn't negativity. I don't want you to think I'm being negative. What's going on with that, Mars? Why did it all of a sudden shut off?
All right, he's figuring it out. You're playing with the Jimmy. Oh boy,
Ooh, that's not a good sound.
That's never a good sound.
The Jimmy Opie soundboard that somebody put together.
Right.
I give props to the guy. He took all a lot of the fun clips from the argument and put them on a soundboard.
Right.
And over the weekend, me and my girlfriend were laying in bed with the laptops, just having an argument with each other with the soundboards. I love it.
Whatever.
That was the condescending part of the argument where Opie would go,
Whatever.
"Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Whatever." and then Jimmy,
Whatever. Whatever. Who cares? Whatever.
I didn't say that.
I said goodbye to Sean Rouse. Mm-hmm. I don't blow off people that I like.
That is so sociopathic. I almost don't know how to respond to it.
could be my favorite line of the whole argument, by the way. When Jimmy paused there before sociopathic.
No offense to Jimmy, but I looked at him when he said that. I wanted to just strangle him. I'm like,
Of
you're
course.
calling me that? Are you insane?
You wanted to strangle each other.
I know. Whatever.
This disgust, whatever. The disgust, whatever. Listen.
Whatever.
Whatever. Whatever.
You see, you're making this up as you go along. I wasn't here, Ope. Now stop misquoting me.
You are insane.
You are insane. It's great. Great soundboard.
Anyway,
yeah, so your brother got on board.
Oh, yeah, you want to go
and,
there first?
you know, your brother will always come to the other brother's defense.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as message boards go, it's impossible to make any headway.
But he doesn't care. That's why.
I know. I understand he wasn't trying to make any headway, but it's so funny that, like, there comes a point where you just don't even do this anymore. You just throw your hands up and go, I got to accept this as a barrel of tools.
Right.
You know? There's a couple of people that have insight. The rest, just idiots. And he addresses it, and it's very funny.
Yeah, it's my brother Elmo. So someone posted, it's a quote from me, I'm just trying to get the negativity out of my life. What a bullshit line from Opie. I have to explain that a little further. We made a conscious effort just before vacation to stop with the negative bullshit toward XM.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we had to turn the page, get on the same page with the company, and move on. You know, because the company came to us aggressively and said, look, we understand all the problems you guys are having. We're going to make it better for you guys. We're going to redo the whole studio, which they did, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, I mean, So I'm biting my lip and trying not to be, Mr. Negative Asshole. As I'm trying at least, okay? Just because I think it's time to move on. I think the listeners are sick of hearing us bitch. I really do. We had reasons to bitch, but now it's time to move on. Simple as that. That's what I was trying to say with that, okay? So the guy goes, what a bullshit line from Opie. So my brother goes, you're a fan of the show? You do not know Opie personally. You don't know a damn thing about him. This is a very important point that many people on this board miss. My bro can defend himself, so he doesn't need me, but I will say his statement about eliminating negativity from his life is absolutely true, and it reflects his attitude of positive thinking. He specifically, and my family in general, have had a seemingly unending negative streak the last couple of years. A lot of things that the fans know nothing about. He channels all his energy into doing a great show. To sit there and call him a bullshitter is beyond the scope of reality. It is a completely disingenuous statement from someone I can only assume is an utter moron. Why don't you ask yourself, what do I personally know about Opie? If the answer is not a thing, then do us a favor and shut up. So then this guy writes, whether any of us know him or not, he fucking disintegrated yesterday in front of the whole fucking country. Maybe he was just being an ass, something he seems to try real hard to do. But still, there's no excuse for him to treat Jimmy like he did. Regardless of what kind of radio show it is, Jimmy's right. An acknowledgement of thanks should always be given on air to guests. And Opie just said, tough shit, what an ass. The whole thanking Sean Rouse got blown way out of proportion. I was the one that wanted him on the show. I think he's a beyond funny guy.
You know something? The basis of the argument was nothing compared to the argument itself. Like, I didn't even really give the basis of the argument that much thought.
Right.
And then when I did, I kind of saw Jimmy's side of it and all, but being familiar with the show, because I've been sitting here for 10 years, I understand what it's like. The guest comes in, especially a comic that isn't like, Eddie Murphy coming in and, sitting down and waiting. They're going to have to wait until they come in, depending on what's going on. Some of them get brought right in, some of them don't.
Yeah,
if we're talking about something or we have a subject that we're going to get going on, even if we don't, put it this way too, even if we don't have material that we're just ready to go to, we kind of want to get something started before we bring people in so that they can then become part of the show and not sit there and do their act.
Right.
They have to be able to come into something that's already stirring a little
and join
bit.
the environment.
Right. So when a comic sits out there for a while, we're just getting things going in here so we can be brought into an atmosphere that's more conducive to jumping in. What's his name there?
Sean Rouse.
Sean was sitting out there for a while we were getting stuff going. We had Chris Jericho coming in, and a lot of people were like, it's bullshit because Opie played a Fozzy song at the end of the show, and that would have been plenty of time to talk. Chris pretty much said he wanted that Fozzy song played. That was what he said as almost, I don't want to say a condition of him coming on, but it was one of those things, guys, I want to come on the show, but I really like it if you guys played one of my tunes.
Well, he's a friend of the show, and if a friend of a show asks us to do something, we'll give him a promise. Like, yeah all right, we'll play your song at the end of the show. No problem, man.
Now, other times, also with Sean, comics come in. Sometimes they can sit down and immediately they're great. They work on the show, and it's fine. They fit in. They're talking about whatever we're talking about. They're being funny. Other times they come in, don't say 5 words, pretty much get acclimated to what we do, and then their next appearance is brilliant,
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way this show works. And he came in, it wasn't a stellar appearance.
He didn't
suck. I gotta be honest.
He didn't suck, but nothing was really developing there.
It's not something that people are going to call back and go, wow, I got to hear that again, or write about in months to come and go, wasn't that a great appearance or anything? It just happens. It's not that the guy isn't funny, he sucks, he can't. It's just some people come in here, and depending on what's going on sometimes, or depending on their head or ours or whatever, Colin's been great on our show. Colin Quinn comes on, has been hysterically funny when we've had Laverne and Shirley in and everything like that. His last appearance on this show stunk on ice. Doesn't mean Colin sucks. A lot of that was our fault that day. It just happens. That's how it is. Doesn't mean Colin sucks. Doesn't mean Sean sucks.
Right.
But that's just the way it worked. And because that was what was going on, it wasn't like we were going to say, all right, let's dedicate the last 10 minutes of the show to Sean, because it just wasn't, we weren't feeling it, is what, is how you put it.
See, it's really simple with this program, too. Anthony and I, we and Jimmy, we come up with stuff. Wow, what was that?
Computer shut off again.
Oh, okay. Basically, we'll do what's called bits or whatever you want to call them, okay? And we'll get into a flow. Mm-hmm. We cannot stop that flow just to get someone in here to make them happy. We just can't do it. We won't do it as we move forward here. Mm-hmm. We just won't. I mean, if all of a sudden Ozzy's walking through the door, then you might see us stop. Definitely. But in general, it is so hard to do this radio show on a daily basis that when Anthony and I and Jimmy are in a flow, what we do as performers is we ride that out as long as we possibly can for your enjoyment. And then when that ends, what happens when we hit the commercial break, we sit here and regroup and go, okay, what's next? Okay, we got Sean, we got this, Chris Jericho's coming in. Then we figure out where we're going to go next. And then when that person comes in or that next bit starts, guess what? We try to ride that out as long as we can. And if we go to the phones and the phones are hot, you know what? We'll ride them out as long as we can and then regroup. Yeah. That's what frustrates the hell out of me, that these people just don't understand how a radio show works.
How it works. They just hear it on the
They
outside.
Don't get it. Mm-hmm. They just don't get it. They just assume we're so brilliant that all of a sudden, we'll stop what we're doing because, there's a comic sitting outside waiting to come in. It just doesn't work that way.
Opie, I wasn't really getting the they think we're so brilliant thing, though, on the message.
No, I understand that. But, I mean, as far as, like, just stopping what we're doing and just starting with somebody else like that, and it's going to be radio gold. It just doesn't work that way.
That we should be able to just, the second they walk in, put them on the air here and continue what we were doing. Sometimes it's distracting. We're in a flow. We're talking about a subject that me, Opie, and Jimmy are really familiar with. We're rolling on it. We're throwing stuff back and forth. To bring another person in that really isn't familiar with that puts a damper on it, puts the brakes on it.
Right.
So we try not to do that. And if that means people have to wait, they have to wait.
I hate to tell you, but at this point in our careers, too, it's really a privilege for these people to be on our show. Most of them are friends. I'm not talking about the friends of the show, I mean, we're just all friends, and we enjoy each other's company and make each other laugh. But there's a bunch of other people. It truly is just a privilege to get on the air. And if that means you get here at 7 in the morning and you don't get on until, quarter to 11, tough shit. It's still great exposure for whoever that person might be.
Right.
It's simple as that. It's not like the old days where we're doing a little show, for Worcester, Massachusetts, where we're thankful when these people are coming on our show. At this point, we're really doing a lot of people, favors. Mm-hmm. We just are. It's just the nature of the beast, I mean, think about Letterman. Letterman, bumps people all the time. Know why?
Yeah, because they show up and they don't get on at all.
Because Letterman does his monologue or something, and it's flowing, so he goes, 2 or 3 minutes longer doing a monologue or something. And don't start comparing us to Letterman. I'm just trying to make an example, you asses. Because
because someone's already typing.
Yeah. I can't believe they would actually compare themselves to David Letterman.
Dude.
No, as far as this type of programming works, if you go along somewhere else, something else is going to suffer. That's all I'm saying. So when Letterman does a long monologue because he feels like he's flowing and he's in the zone, guess what? Sometimes that means he's got to bump a comic or something. So.
Right.
So you can't stop the flow of the show just to get someone in here that might be waiting a little too long outside. You just can't.
Right.
So moving on with this guy's post, Back in My Brother. What an ask him. Okay. It reminds me of the intro they used to play where it had that quote from Opie where he said, "We are just dicks." Almost like he's proud of being a dick and he needs to shout it out from a rooftop. Hey, look at me. I'm a dick. He needs to quit trying so hard to be a prick and do the radio show. It's like lately he's forcing it and it comes across as fake. Again, I don't know him personally and don't care to, but he fucking lost his mind yesterday. Oh, and before you tell people to shut up about Opie and how hard his fucking life has been, how about taking a look at how he treats people on the radio show? Fuck Opie, he can take a few shots. So my brother writes back, "Listen, prick. Did he even read my fucking post? What an ass. You're talking about Jimmy and how hard my bro's fucking life has been. What a complete tool. None of your stupid comments had any bearing on what I posted, so why the F did you quote me? If you don't know Opie personally, then don't say shit like, I'm just trying to get the negativity out of my life. What a bullshit line from Opie. It's a pathetic statement by an obvious asshole. Very simple. Obviously, you're such a freaking moron that you just want people to pay attention to you. Well, I'm paying attention to you. You're a dick. You know it. I know it. And the world laughs at you when you walk down the street."
Pat from Unaki says, "Does Elmo realize he's probably arguing with a 12-year-old?"
Yeah. Good one, Pat. Good one, Pat.
Well, what are you going to
do? All right. And then, I mean, my brother was all over the message board.
Oh,
I
crazy.
guess. Here's another post from him. Yeah, let's see who the little douchebag is, you fucking tool. If you have such a bad opinion of my bro, then turn your XM in and go elsewhere, asshole. Little whining jerks like you make me laugh. Your life is so utterly pathetic that you try to be big man on a fucking message board. What a dick. You're laughable. At least other people are discussing the incident as normal human beings. Go away. No one will miss you. That is for sure.
Oh, well.
So anyway, let's go to the phones real fast. Then we're
Yeah.
going to move on to other things today. Chad in Virginia, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I got to tell you, real or not, that was the best radio you guys have done yet. But I want to know why XM cut it out of the replay. I got up at 3 a.m. this morning to listen to it, and I had to listen to Tommy fucking Chong
I know. Well, I got to explain that.
Big controversy there.
punching out.
Here's the deal. After the show Friday, I just had an awful headache, and I just left the building. Because I wrote that in one of my posts, like, oh, you couldn't even stick around to, like, try to work things out. No, my head was hurting so bad, I just had to get out of the
Everyone
area.
got out of here.
Yeah, we all just went our own ways, okay? I had no idea that they were going to edit the fight out. I swear to you. No one called me. No one called Anthony. Jimmy had nothing to do with it. The show, the guys on the air had nothing to do with it. Supposedly Ben and Eric Logan decided to cut the fight out of the replays. I guess it ran once, and then after that, they decided it just wouldn't be smart to replay it, which is so sad and stupid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
Because as far as radio goes, you know, the reality is I look like an ass on Friday. I'm not dumb. I know that. And at times, Jimmy looked like an ass. He knows that. But you know what? But we also understand that makes great radio. We both understand that big time.
Right.
And for them to, like, not replay that, not only all day Friday and then over the weekend, is just dumb programming as far as XM goes.
Whose call was that?
And I gotta tell you, you know, Eric Logan, who we love and he supports the show, he dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah,
because
why would you pull that?
Why, as a listener, would you not? Because this is their logic. Not want to hear, in my opinion, very real, honest, awful, with all the scars type of radio for 45, 50 minutes. Who wouldn't want to listen to that? As long and stupid as it was, and instead want to listen to an old Tommy Chong interview. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Not at all. What was his logic in that one?
I don't know. Maybe we could get him on the air, and
I'd love to know what the thinking is. Where the negative? Because he must have had some kind of thought it was a bad idea. Had some. What is it? What's the downside of playing that as far as ELO's concerned?
I don't know. Because
I'd
then
love to know.
The message boards went nuts on that, so I quickly posted, like, look, you guys got to understand. Jimmy, and I forgot to throw your name in there. Because then they speculate, whoa, Anthony doesn't even have a say anymore.
Oh. Jesus
but I was thinking
Christ.
because it was Jimmy and I's, fight or whatever. So
I didn't even have a, you wrote it that way, so it looked like I didn't have a say?
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Or that you might have been the one that
made the call.
That pulled it. Because
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
did.
mention your name.
I called ELO and said, do you know something? And this is the God's honest truth. I don't even have ELO's phone number in my phone. I had to call Ben to get ELO's phone number, and it's written down somewhere, but I don't make those calls. Because I don't want to talk to management. I like ELO as a person. I like ELO hanging out when we go out to dinner, and like he's the anti-Bob Eatman at dinners. He's fun. His conversations are entertaining, and I like ELO as a person. But as far as work-related stuff, I cannot be bothered talking to any of them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't like to. And when people speculate as to who is who's superior here in our little show world, me and Ope are equal. There's not going to be any decisions made without consulting the other one. And on all aspects of the show, we're equal. But Opie, for some reason, I don't even want to use the word enjoys, but you do seem to enjoy.
No, I used to.
Dealing with these people more than I do.
I used to. How this happened was, I was the, quote, experienced radio guy, and then, Anthony came aboard, and he was very green, but had unbelievable raw talent, and now, I'm talking 10 years ago, now it's like,
I was a diamond in the rough.
Now it's like we're completely equal, but Anthony didn't really know how a radio station worked or how radio in general works. So
happy to be there.
So I took on the role as, the go-to guy. And for some reason, 10 years later, I'm still looked at as the go-to guy, and I'm trying to get away from that role.
Yeah.
More and more. I really am. You know, I don't enjoy it anymore at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if it made the air, but because we were fighting during the breaks and stuff too Friday, and Jimmy's like calling me the boss and stuff, and that drives me nuts. I don't want to be considered the boss. I really don't.
Mm.
You know, that's why I told Jimmy and other people, like, if you have a problem, then you go to the bosses, or if you had a problem with how Sean Rouse was handled on the show, then jump in. You know, it's not my call.
Well, then everything should be delegated through Ben. That's it. You know, that's what I do. Because I don't enjoy dealing with upper management of any corporation. And that's just been me throughout my whole life. I don't like bosses. I never have. So if I have an issue with anything, I go to Ben, and I go, Ben, this, that, and I let it filter through Ben.
I don't mind dealing with Eric Logan at all. I don't. And if there's things to discuss, obviously I call you right away, and we don't make any decisions unless you and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's always been. But as far as like being looked at as the boss, the main guy in the show, I really have hated that for years, and have really tried my best to get away from that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why it's still looked at that way, but whatever.
It's because you're the guy that does, you know.
But, I mean, just a horrible call by Washington to edit the fight out. I mean, the negativity was just, you know, two really good friends just ripping their heads off.
Yeah.
And Jimmy even admitted to me on Saturday, he's like, dude, I've had these knockout, drag-out fights with all my friends that are close to me.
Yeah.
He says he's had legendary ones with Keith Robinson, and he mentioned a few other people. I don't want to quote him because I forget exactly, but I think
did he break the N-word out during those?
Yeah, you can only imagine. So, let's go to Dan in Jersey. Dan, what's up?
Hey guys, I just wanted to know how many times Jimmy blinked that awful psychotic blink during the argument.
Yeah, blinky.
Yeah, he was blinking pretty good. Well, I mean, we'll get Jimmy's, you know, his whole take on this thing on Wednesday. The only reason he's not here today or tomorrow is because he's getting ready for the big HBO thing tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's getting like his sleep done, and you know, he's working out at the clubs, I guess.
Well, this is huge for Jimmy, and it's huge for the show as well.
These HBO specials, I mean, once you do them, they're out there. You know, they last forever. How many of these do you tune in? Like HBO plays, you see ones from the '80s and stuff. These things just are there forever, so you want to be able to. You want to make sure you do them right.
Right. So, I mean, you know, I asked that we all get on the same page because obviously a lot of you guys are going to the taping tomorrow night, and you got to show nothing but support to Jimmy.
Respect.
Let's go to Ed in California. Ed, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that me and a bunch of people out here, we were talking about the last week because we've only been listening since you guys came on in October. We actually paid the 6 cents a day.
Right.
And I have to say, hands down, it was pretty much the best week you guys had on XM. I have no idea about your NEW days. Never listened to you then, but it was by far the best week. And
well, we got a lot of audio from our NEW days on oavirus.com, so you can do a little catching up in your free time.
Yeah,
there's some great stuff on there.
Overall, I mean, and you know, you're right. It was a little rough in October, going through November. You know, but you guys caught up. But man, it was fantastic last week. I mean, overall, just. You know, who you brought in, what happened, you know, stuff that was said, you know, yada, yada, yada. It was just, I was crying over the weekend. It was so funny, man. I listened both Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that's cool. No, it sucks. On Friday, we were having it was setting up to be another really good show, too.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy said something during the break, and I don't know, a switch went off in my head, and the weird thing, a switch went off in his head at the same time.
You two were both.
That's
it was
rare.
one of those, the perfect storm happened, you know? It was one of those things where... And another factor
because I wasn't
up,
planning on going there and he wasn't, because there are times, because Jimmy and I are very close, and our personalities are such that we're both like psychopaths, really.
You're both insane.
And there are times like Jimmy will have a problem with me and give me a quick blast, and I'll back down like, whoa, okay, yeah, you make a good point or whatever, and I'll do the same to him, and he'll back down. But for some reason, it just was like two rams ready to go.
And then you brought up another point over the weekend, the fact that and I never do this, I left the studio. So I wasn't even here at the beginning of this to maybe say...
Oh, you would have squashed it.
Yeah.
Because
guys, we're going back on the air. Deal with this after the show.
What happened was that we go to commercial, and Jimmy was excited about Yoshi and those people, you know, the porn people being here, and I made just a side comment like, "Oh God, more porn crap," because we're really trying to figure out what we could do with the naked chicks and the porn on this show, and that made him say, "Oh man, you can't make them wait like you did Sean Rouse," and I went, "What?" And at that point, you left the studio.
I left the studio.
Before that, actually.
Now, I went out because my root canal dentist had been talking about how he wanted to come in and watch the show.
Oh, that's right. Your dentist was out there.
So I walked out to talk to him, and I never leave the studio. So I walked out and missed the whole beginning of this argument. And by the way, it's great. The dentist, the first time he comes in to see the show live, he was shell-shocked. He left. I didn't even get to say goodbye to him. He was looking through this window, dude, shell-shocked. Like, oh, my God, is this what goes on this fucking show? So now he's got this image of the show that it's just us killing each other and getting on the air. Hi, how you doing, people? So when I walk back in, you guys are already fully involved.
Way involved.
Way out of control. I couldn't put it out.
I'll be honest. I think the best stuff was said off air, unfortunately, because it was the beginning of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we just jumped in when
we
got back live.
2 seconds of trying to fake it when those mics came on.
Well, you can't fake it.
No.
I mean, we turned the corner a while ago. You can't fake shit on the radio.
No, but it didn't even, like, you guys didn't even try to keep it off the air.
No.
And it was like, hi, we're back. You know, Jimmy.
Right. I do blame you, because I think if you were in the studio, you would have squashed
it's my fault.
You would have squashed it, like said, hey, before it got to that point of no return.
Guys.
Every fight has that point of no return.
Point of no return.
You know, you're starting, and you could stop, but then you hit that switch, and it's over. And I think you would have been able to stop us.
No,
so let's talk about this after the show.
Everything's fine. I walked back in the studio not more than a minute later, and I was like, oh, my God, what did I miss? How the hell did this flare up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least I got to eat my sandwich.
And the dentist...
The dentist
right away?
Dude, I was looking out the window at him while you two were going at it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, my God. I saw the look on his face was, oh, my God, is this what goes on this show? You know? It was so uncomfortable to sit here also in my little seat. I'm just trolling instant feedback. People,
I know.
You know, Anthony, what are you doing right now?
They're talking to you.
Yeah, they're talking
to you through the screen.
Like, oh, nothing. I am just sitting here hoping this is a bad dream.
You know what sucks when you have one of those in front of a lot of people? I'm not even counting, like, the audience. But, I mean, I couldn't even look at anyone after that break. I couldn't look at Jimmy anymore. I could barely look at you. I'm like, these guys just think I'm a fucking lunatic, man.
It was just trying. And I looked and went, oh, my God, we have, 2.5 hours of the show left.
Right.
And just knew it was going to be a long 2.5.
All right, let's go to Keith in PA. Keith, what's up?
Hey, Opan.
What's up?
Hey, man.
Hey, guys. That Ant, I think that happened to a lot of us, man. I had just got out of my car and went over to switch it to my PC at my desk, and I'm sitting there going, what the hell just happened?
I know.
What did I miss? What's going on?
We were all in a really good mood Friday, and like I said, the first hour was a pretty good hour, and we were ready to really have another one of those stellar shows, and then, man.
Yep.
Oh, guys, I'll tell you what, though, it was compelling radio. The only thing, and the favor I have to ask, and I don't know whether you can accomplish this or not, but, man, I'm telling you, I joined Whackbag, and I've been a fan since AAF days. A buddy of mine used to tape you on cassettes, ship them down to me so I could listen to it. That's how big of a fan I was at that point.
Very cool.
It was very cool. And I've been a fan that long, and I never joined Whackbag, because obviously the Internet came along a little bit later. I finally joined Whackbag in March. I put one post on Whackbag, and I'm a freaking piece of meat for piranhas. They went after me because I said, it's just friends having a fight. Don't you people have anything better to do? They don't. We got to get these people jobs, man. They don't have anything better to do than to talk about you guys all day long on Whackbag.
He said they don't have anything better to do. That was his mistake.
Yeah.
You could say, it's just friends having a fight, and then people would have said that. But the second you say, you guys don't have anything better to do, then you're going to get pounced. Is this true? Has Elmo been suspended from Whackbag for 2 weeks for bashing other members?
2 weeks?
2 weeks suspension.
My brother will be just fine with that. My God. It made him feel good, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. Well, for a brother doesn't want to log on and just read, bashing of his brother.
That's my barometer, though. You don't think I left here Friday going, oh, my God, you're really losing it, dude. You know, I mean, I'm having this inner conversation with myself, right?
Yeah.
And then I see what my brother does and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I'm still cool. I'm still all right. I'm not ready for the mental home yet. You're insane at times.
Here's I actually have a clip on the Opie Jimmy soundboard.
All right.
It's just
you better say Jimmy versus Opie soundboard.
Yeah,
you better give him top billing so no one looks too much into it, right?
Here's the only clip of me on this whole thing.
Holy shit.
And that says it all right there. My tone What I said is exactly how I felt.
Is that the only thing you said?
The only thing.
Because I really don't remember you even talking during that 45,
I had a couple of little
minutes.
things trying to keep you guys on track.
I really don't remember.
But they did a better job keeping that train on track in Japan than I could ever keeping this argument on track. Here it is. Holy shit. Holy shit. Just an exhausted, holy shit.
I want to go home.
Holy shit. 2.5 hours.
All right, let's go to Cigars and Scotch from whackbag.com.
I just want to make sure I'm getting everything straight before I post. So Opie suspended Jimmy for 2 days.
Till Wednesday, right? You
All
suspended him.
I want to know.
The reason he came in barefoot was that it's symbolic that Jimmy should walk a day in his shoes.
Oh, wow. All right, I want to know whose side you took, bro.
I was leaning heavily towards Jimmy until I heard Yoshi on the air. And then I was back to Opie.
Man, dude, if that wasn't some kind, even if it meant nothing, did you feel any kind of like you were exonerated a little when Yoshi was put on the air Friday and completely bombed?
It made me smile a little bit, just a little.
Oh, my God. Hey, we all love Yoshi.
My biggest frustration is that people don't understand how this show works and how you really have... You know, I unfortunately have to be the guy that is like the point guard, and I just knew that Yoshi was going to stink. No offense to Yoshi. He's just too nervous to do the show. Maybe the next time or a few appearances down the road, he'll be a lot better.
Right. And the way you get that way is by coming in and hanging out. Like you sit and you know, whatever time we bring you in, you sit there, you throw in a quip or two during whatever we're talking about. But to put him on and go, hey, Yosh, you know, your act, all right, what's your act all about? What do you do? I'm just sitting there. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, that was a little like, uh-oh.
Yeah, let's
go. This is what we were kind of talking about.
Let's go to Oklahoma. Stanley, what's up?
Hey, I was just wondering if y'all was going to play that argument from Friday.
Well, we got to figure out how to replay it where it makes sense or something. I have no problem with that.
Well, I was out unloading my truck at the time, and I missed it, and I tried to catch it on replay. My brother-in-law told me about it, and I never did get to hear it.
See, that's why Washington made a huge mistake, because when you have that type of radio going on, people... You know, what you want to do with a radio show is get people talking. Mm-hmm. So if you missed that fight, but you have friends that heard it, they're of course going to tell you, like, oh, my God, did you hear those guys losing their minds on the radio today? No, well, I did not. Well, what channel was that on? And then you get people to tune in. And then instead they're hearing a dumb old Tommy Chong interview. That's just bad programming.
Yeah.
You know? I know I look like an ass. Jimmy looked like an ass. I don't care, though. I knew it made for good radio and that it would make people tune in. So I know there's already links up on, I think, whackbag.com. FoundryMusic.com might throw a link to the fight. It's already all over the internet. So
I'd like to have it replayed, though. It was like, people should be able to hear that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, Stanley.
Well, I hope y'all get to replay it, but I'm a first-time caller, and I just want to say I used to listen to Howard Stern all the time, and since I got y'all, since that replay during Christmas, I had XM, and that's the reason I got it. Y'all rock, bud. And
thank
I'll
you,
out.
Stanley.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate it.
That was a little sinister.
You know, maybe on the East Coast we could play it in the 6 a.m. hour with Jimmy and I, you know, doing an intro and an outro or something like that to give you guys one more, you know, chance to get it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just taping this show on their MiFi anyway. That might be the way to do it. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
That'd be pretty cool.
Pete in Queens, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on? No, it's the first replay. I heard, all you heard Anthony say, the first thing coming out of break was, I'm just going to sit here and eat my sandwich, and then you two guys just go at it.
Yeah, because I saw it was going. I saw there was no way we were doing the show after that. So when we came back from break, before they even started the on-air portion of the argument, they had argued off-air, and it was just too brutal, and I knew it was carrying over. So we come back from break, and I just said, well, I'm going to eat my sandwich because I knew it was over, Johnny.
All right, Pete in Connecticut. We got to move on here. Pete?
Yeah, dude, it's so obvious what's going on. Dude, Opie's not wearing shoes. Hello? Paul McCartney, Abbey Road. Dude, Opie is dead to the show. Play the argument backwards, dude. Play it backwards.
Very good.
If it wasn't so accurate.
There's the Photoshop for today.
That's it,
Boy,
dude.
That's an easy one.
It is obvious.
Who's going to be the first one to Photoshop that on whackbag.com?
With fucking Yoko Norton sitting over there.
Exactly. Yeah, they were calling him Yoko. It was just...
Yoko.
It was just amazing.
Oh, bunch of asses. I love it.
You asses with your divide and conquer. It's just never going to happen. None of us are going anywhere.
No.
There's no power struggle, none of that crap, okay?
Don't worry about it so much. Just enjoy the program. Whether it's people yelling at each other or you're laughing your balls off, just don't look so deeply into our personal psyches and what everything means.
And Jimmy and I were already starting to goof about the whole fight later on in that show, by the way. When we went to the bathroom and we explained what happened, and we were kind of laughing through the whole thing, how awkward and silly it was that usually we go to the bathroom at the same time just because we both have weak bladders.
Yeah.
And we usually take leaks right next to each other. Well, the show's sounding pretty good today, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk a little small talk, right? And, we walked. We're like, oh, great. We both had to take a leak at the same time. He goes to the urinals. I go in the stall like you usually do.
Sure.
And I slam the stall. We take our leaks, right? And he's finished before me, so he's leaving the bathroom. Slams the door.
Oh, God. Oh.
Then we have to walk back in here. And then we had to acknowledge it, and we talked about it on the air a little bit. And if you listen, we were already starting to, kind of laugh about it. So
move on.
All right.
Jesus.
Okay. Let's go to Mike in Jersey. Mike, what's up?
Hey, okay, Ant.
Hey.
I just wanted to know, because the rest of after the fight, you really didn't. Jay Moore pretty much took over the show. He went to break, and I just wanted to know what was going through your head. It had to be, insane, because it was like two brothers fighting.
No, that's why it wasn't really insane. It was two really good friends fighting or two brothers fighting. I've had knockout fights with my own brothers. I'm from a big family. And I got to tell you, it just felt really good. When that thing was over, and I could see it in Jim's eyes, too, it was like this tension that was building up in both of us that we needed to get out that probably didn't have much to do with the other person, to be honest with you, in a weird way. I mean, the spark was lit because we had a disagreement, and I felt really, really good. The old days, I think I was telling Anthony this over the weekend, I would hold a grudge for fucking weeks on bullshit stuff. And after the fight, I just was like, I felt really good, but the problem was I had a really, really bad headache. Really bad. And I just couldn't even focus or concentrate anymore. And that was the only reason. I even apologized to Anthony. I told him over the weekend, I'm like, Ant, I didn't purposely mean to, shut up the rest of the show, but I couldn't concentrate because I had one of those headaches where you can't even, see almost.
Yeah.
Where it hurts, where the light hurts. It was almost like a migraine.
It was cool.
So I apologized to him because I'm like, I didn't mean to, throw you in that position to, totally just try to make something happen.
That was cool.
But it worked out, I thought.
Jay with the porno guy, and I took some of that porno home.
Yeah.
Some of that, the facial stuff. Oh, my God. Watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just brutal. Glazed donut face chicks.
Oh, the Baker Dozen thing?
Yeah, and there was one with one of the girls, and I couldn't even watch it. She had a martini glass.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
10
boy.
10 guys, actually 12 guys.
Oh, boy.
Into a martini glass.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Chug-a-lug.
Let's go to Danny in New York. Danny, what's up?
Hey, Opie, what's going on, man? I didn't go on Whackbag, but one of the other site, I forgot what it was, but they were just totally bashing you, man, the whole time. Like, you won the argument over Norton, and I was like, yeah, man, whatever, man. It was just an argument, and there was no big deal, man.
Oh, I will openly say I don't think I won that argument, by the way. Are you talking about opieanthony.net?
Yeah, I just checked it out on the links, man.
They want me to post so bad on that site, and whenever I'm over there, it's just for some reason, it's an Opie Bash Fest. So I'm like, I mean, we still link them to all our websites, but I don't really get it. I don't really get, what their agenda is over there. So
I don't get it, man. They were just totally bashing you, dude. And like Whackbag was like, okay, it was an equal fight, and you guys had your things to hash out, and
right.
I don't get it, man. They were just totally bashing you, man. And I totally disagree with that, man.
Well, I asked one stupid, lousy thing. just give me just some slight respect, because this whole Opie and Anthony thing started with me many, many years ago. That's it.
Is that what it is? Because it's like, Norton won, and Norton's better than Opie, and Opie ain't shit.
That's what you
like,
get.
Like, dude, you run the show, man. I mean, you're the boss, and
well, no, not the boss anymore.
Well, you know what I mean. But I mean, it's like, another thing, man. I met Lee Abrams in Poughkeepsie, believe it or not.
Oh, are you the air traffic control guy?
Holy shit! He told you about me,
dude. He yeah. See, I pay attention. He emailed me. He said you're a huge fan.
I was a big fan, dude. I've been listening to you since NEW, man. Like in '98. Like it was like.
All right. Explain this to Anthony, because it is kind of cool. He's running the tower up there in Poughkeepsie.
Oh yeah.
And Lee Abrams really high and stuff. Lands his plane at your airport,
really
right?
High. He's not high when he flies.
It was so funny, man. Because like I remember hearing you guys talking about it at in Vegas. And you were saying, like, it was 101 XM, and it was a Cirrus plane. And I'm like, okay, they're too cheap to get a jet, or whatever. But then, next thing you know, I get a trip, like a flight strip, whatever, we call the planes on, and I see 101 XM, and I'm like, okay, cool, man, I don't think that's it, but whatever. They won't be landing in Poughkeepsie, dude. We're in the middle of nowhere. Next thing you know, they land, and I talk to the guys that fuel the plane, and I go, okay, are these the XM guys? And they called me up and they said, yeah, they also ran over there, and I started giving them shit about you guys saying they had narcolepsy and all that other shit.
Yeah, narcoleptic pilot.
And it was funny. He was just laughing. He goes, oh, I had one meeting, and then next thing you know, my career's screwed. And I was cracking up, and he had these two hot chicks with him, man.
He did?
Yeah, dude. I guess one of them is, who's the CEO again? I forgot his name.
Hugh.
What?
Hugh Pinero.
Hugh Pinero's secretary, gorgeous. And the other chick I thought was Kathy Griffin, because she looked like Kathy Griffin. She's not that hot, but I was like, pretty good.
So
nice tits, but...
So Lee Abrams was flying around with two hot broads?
Definitely, dude.
Oh, that's the whore bait that he carries.
He's a rock star.
Yes, man.
He's got that whore bait, man. He carries a nice amount of cocaine. Better known as whore bait.
That must have kept him awake from the narcolepsy or something, man.
Well,
he gave me his card.
What better way not to?
They were totally spreading the word. They were total XM whores, man. They had the jackets on,
my God, this guy won't stop
the whole nine. I had to go meet him, man, because I heard him on the show.
Oh my God, he's not gonna stop talking.
Yeah.
It was funny as hell, man.
He's still going.
He's used to it.
Well, my line has passed now, but thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Hey, dude, how was his landing? Nice?
The landing was perfect. Everything was cool.
What a guy.
I thought he might have fallen asleep and just crashed it and shit. I had to call the fire trucks. But
Dink it in.
Thanks for taking my call, man. I appreciate it.
Hi, man.
Well, I wish I did, but thank you, Danny.
It's lonely up in that tower. It
sure
talking
does.
to planes all day. It's nice that he's actually has something else to say. That's
4 planes crashed while he was talking to us. Fucking idiot.
Piled up on top of each other.
Mark in Michigan, what's up?
Hey, guys. I joined XM a couple days before the end of your vacation and got totally addicted. And I think this is just a great excuse to buy the MiFi, because I got set up to listen to your show Friday night, like 11 o'clock. I figured, okay, every 4 hours it would replay. And I was so bummed I missed. And now I turn on at 7 in the morning, and I missed a great show. So you're right. XM blew it. We all want to hear it. Somehow in the last 2 weeks I've become part of a family, if you have it. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate it. I love the show, and it makes my mornings awesome.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, Eric Logan knows better. He really does.
Yeah?
He knows how this radio works. When you got controversy like that, two guys going at it, it's going to make people talk. Look what happened to the message boards.
I know.
And to rerun it is just very bad programming. It's extremely bad programming.
I'd love to hear from him, like, why? What was his reasoning behind it? Why would it have been bad to replay that?
To squash the controversy and throw a Tommy Chong interview at you? Oh, come on. How is that better?
It isn't.
Really?
It isn't.
All right, we should take a break, I guess.
All right. Remind me when we come back, I want to talk about how just technology has screwed us to the point where booking a hotel room has gotten ridiculous.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
It's gotten ridiculous.
Okay. As we go to break, my buddy, my pal, my friend, from his actually it's off his first CD, but it's a bit he did for us on WNEW, I guess.
I know that. It was rude. I'm paranoid and I have issues. I don't know, dickhead, because I don't know what was going on that day, fuckface. I'm very calm.
I honestly cannot wait for Jimmy to be here on Wednesday.
I know.
Because it'll be fun to discuss it with him in studio. That's why we're trying not to, we're not trying to say too much where all of a sudden it makes Jimmy look bad or something, because that's not that's not what this is all about, obviously. But once again, I do have to tell you, we're all going to the taping tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a huge night for Jim Norton and a huge night for the show in general. We all have to get on the same page. We just have to, okay? Mm-hmm. Simple as that. You hate me, whatever. You hate Jimmy, whatever. It doesn't matter tomorrow night. It just doesn't.
We must all unite for little Jimmy.
Right, because it's going to be a very, very exciting night for him tomorrow, okay? Mm-hmm. Here's Jimmy.
Feeling low? The best way to not feel like a worthless douchebag is to listen to an even bigger piece of crap.
I am awful.
With the Jim Norton motivational tapes, you'll feel better about yourself instantly.
I stink.
Hate your body? Take it from Jim.
I'm a meaty-breasted little nothing.
It could be a lot worse.
This sucks.
Problems at work?
I effed up an ABC audition today.
Hey, at least you have a job.
Everything I do, I look like the Manchurian Candidate.
You'll be amazed at how much confidence you have after you listen to a mushy little nothing tool on himself for hours on end.
Shut up, Chinless. I'm nuts. Almost 13 years I'm doing comedy. God, there is no justice in this world. It sucks. You have the warmth of a trout. What a retard I am. Does anybody not see the disgrace in this?
Everyone loves Jim's inspirational live appearances.
It's a night of pale, meaty-breasted dullness.
Coming to a town near you.
On Margaritaville. I don't sing ever, you idiots.
Stay tuned for details.
Just listen to the station and get tickets, you douchebags.
Love yourself. Hate him.
I suck.
With the Jim Norton motivational tapes.
That's me, Jim Norton, folks. Ugh.
Oh. You know, I'm starting to get hot. Oh. You know, I'm starting to get hot. Oh, no, I'm going to give up my virginity. I'm a sport. Maybe take a little cock right into my mouth. It must hurt. Maybe taking it in the rear. Maybe bang me up the ass. That's what they call me. She's a freak. That's what they call me. She's a freak. What do you want me to do? I'm going to be facing the wall. What do you want me to do? I've always wanted a juicy cock. Put it between the boobs. I'm into the TF thing. Put it between the boobs. Put it in the pits. Put it in the pits. My favorite oral treat. My favorite eating cock. I'm hungry for a big, fat, juicy cock. After I whack your bag, whack your bag, whack your bag, whack your bag. Shoot your big wad of cum right into my mouth. That's what they call me. She's a freak. That's what they call me. Oh, God. After I suck you off, I want you to bang me up the ass. I'm hungry for a hard male cock. Stick your huge cock in my tight ass. That's scaring me. I take it in the rear. I'm a freak. That's what I was taught. I got a big juicy cock from Ben the other day. Oh, I like the banana. Oh, God. I like the banana. I'm a freak. I enjoy having sex with a guy. I enjoy cum in my mouth. I enjoy cock between the boobs. I enjoy cock in my tight ass. That's what they call me. She's a freak. That's what they call me. She's a freak.
Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony, XM202.
I stand alone. Oh, good one, Ope. Thanks. Enough said. Please, you don't even have to speculate about that one. I stand alone. Anthony and Jimmy, bye. All right, I see where you're going. Jesus.
Coming out of the next break, I'm going to play Nine Inch Nails' Head Like a Hole.
Oh!
Bow down.
That's
before
right.
the one you serve.
Yes.
You're going to get what you deserve.
People on those boards are hysterical.
Really fast. Let's go to Long Island. Justin, what's up?
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Two things for you, man. When that fight hit, I'll tell you right now, I work for Cablevision. Not a single bit of cable work went on while everyone sat in their truck and listened to it, man.
I know.
But,
that's why they should have replayed it.
I know. What you saying?
I said, as opposed to what? When all the Cablevision work is being done, you motherfuckers?
You gotta love it, guy. But I just wanted to ask Ann if it brought back any repressed memories before his parents got divorced.
A lot of people ask me that. If hearing Jimmy and Opie arguing brought back those memories, because I grew up in a household where my mother and father were constantly fighting with each other and throwing the pasta dish at the wall and watching it slowly slide down. And yeah, there was a little bit of that, going at it, where two people that you see on a daily basis, you have a relationship with, are arguing like that. You kind of feel a little,
unbelievable.
Like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
All I thought was you sitting in the corner sucking your thumb, crying for it to be over. I'm punching out, man.
That was pretty much it.
All right, Justin. So, we're all going to the taping tomorrow night, the Jim Norton HBO taping.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to change our schedule around a little bit?
I think we're going to try to do the show Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. East Coast time, which means all you West Coasters will be live in Morning Drive Wednesday morning, looks like.
There you go.
For you guys.
Throw them a little bone.
So on the East Coast, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, so we can sleep in a little bit, because it's going to be a really late night tomorrow night.
Yeah. So I figured I'm going to stay in town. It would be stupid for me to try to drive in. I'd have to get up earlier than I get up now in order to get into New York City by 9 o'clock. That's the heat of rush hour. So I figure I'll stay in town. So this morning I go to make reservations to stay in the city, and I call up the hotel, but their front desk to take reservations not open this early. Wah, wah, wah. So she goes, well, I can hand you off to our entire hotel chain reservation service. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'll do that. I'll just make a reservation there. The connection's really bad. I'm trying to listen to the guy, and all I'm getting, it's really bad.
Hello? You want to make a reservation?
Like, yeah, I could barely hear you.
Well, bad connection here, but if you'd like to make a reservation.
Yeah, I'm staying Tuesday.
2 people or 1 person?
2 people. Hello? Hello? Oh, and now the guys in the office see that I'm getting all pissed off. I'm starting to get a little pissed. I'm like,
a little?
Yeah, I know, very pissed.
They call me a psycho when it comes to stuff not going your way.
I can't
all of a sudden you're like,
handle it.
Can you hear me?
I know.
I'm like, whoa, hey.
Well, then he goes,
It's the room. It's a king bed, no smoking. It's $5
like, yeah, king bed, yeah. Yes, I'll take it.
Okay, king bed.
No, whatever. That's when I said, I'll take it. Yes, yes. I went, yes, yes, yes. I'll take it. Oh, my God. And
I'm really having a bad connection.
I said, yeah, we're having a bad connection. I go, what's wrong with your phone? He goes,
well, are you in the United States?
And that's what yes.
Well, I'm in England.
England? Dude, what am I looking at right now?
I think you're looking at the hotel that you want to stay at.
I'm looking out my window at the hotel I wanted to stay at.
Tomorrow night.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Why do I have to call England to make a reservation? It's England. The guy couldn't hear me. The hotel's right there.
Right there. He's just looking out the window across the street.
We've reached a point where, and we've had it here at XM too. We've had the same problem where they put a little too much thought into the technology end, and we got to get back to our, the roots of things. Keep it simple. We've gotten to the point in this society where it's just gotten insane. Why in God's name does my call have to go thousands of miles to make a reservation that is across the street? And I can't even hear the guy talking. It stunned me. And how I ended the call? I took my little cell phone and threw it on my desk and went, fuck this! That was it. That's how the call ended.
So now you'll be staying at another hotel.
I don't know. Actually, I kind of like that hotel, so I want to make reservations there. But
what about customer service?
Are they open right now?
Most of the customer service calls go to, like, I don't know, India or something.
Yeah. Baby, call the hotel and book a room. Thank you. Little message going out over there. Secret message. Beep, 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 beep.
Done.
Tuesday. There we go.
All right.
But it's just, yeah, a lot of the tech things go to India.
That's right here, customer service, yeah.
There is
if you
a
have some
whole
kind of problem,
industry in India now.
You call the customer service, and it's, it's somewhere else. It's not in the United States most of the time.
I saw a show on, there's a whole industry now in India where they're teaching people to get rid of their Indian accents and speak more American, like as far as their, not just the language, obviously, but the inflections and everything like that. They don't want people having a problem with their computer, so they're trying to get rid of it because there's such a demand for these customer service lines in India. Why is that? Why can't we have customer service that isn't a long-distance call to some faraway land?
Because it's cheaper.
Is it cheaper?
For that
is that
company?
what it is?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Well, you know, it makes it a real pain in the ass.
They pay them a lot less, Anthony.
It makes it a real pain in the ass to do anything in this country anymore. When you call and finally do get the live person on the line, how often is that person an American that you can understand? It is so rare that after going through that half an hour long of the beep, 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 line 1, press 2, press 3, you finally get through to the live person after waiting on hold. Whoever came
up with that idea should be executed, by the way.
Oh,
that just proves your company doesn't give a flying fuck about your customers.
But it's commonplace
when they're like,
now.
well, if you're calling from, all that stuff, push 1. If you're doing this, push 2. If you need to check on your account, push 3. If you need to check on your account, but it's not Tuesday, press 4. And it just keeps going and going and going, and you never get to a live person. That drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't hear your options sometimes. Like, what do I... And then I just go, 0. I hit 0. Hope to get an operator. No, it takes you back to something else. It is so goddamn annoying. And then when you finally do get a live person, it's, some accent you can't understand. How could you have a tech person or a customer service person that you can't understand? Microsoft tech support is in India. I guess the Philippines, India's big thing. Call centers in Jamaica. I've gotten a few of those, too. Hello. Yeah, we're in Jamaica. What? Why I'm calling about this modem isn't working. Why? Jamaica? What do you... The woman's got a bowl of fruit on her head, and she's going to talk me through this problem?
Steve's in studio. You know a little bit about this?
Oh, it's classic. A lot of internet companies do it. A lot of the major tech companies do it. Basically, there are firms now that will help you set up a call center in the Philippines, India, Jamaica, and they'll set up language courses. They'll set up the actual staffing, and they'll teach you how to use this stuff, and it's basically no more than handing the person a binder full of lines and data, and
it's got to be like a script and a flow chart of, okay, are you getting a picture in your monitor?
Right.
Is it okay? Now we'll go to this. Is it plugged in? It's the same sheet you get with any troubleshooting sheet you would get with a computer. And you're not getting a tech guy that knows the deal and can go, all right, dude, I know what the problem is. Punch this in, go to this, and help you out.
Yeah, and they're saving a fortune on labor costs, so it costs less to send to send a person over there, or to send a group of people over there, buy a building, build a building, staff it with people, and then pay them, pennies to do all of the work that would have cost you a lot more in this country.
It drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is saying that XM does the same thing.
Jamaica.
What? Is that what they ask?
Yeah.
Did you reboot? I love that one. Did you reboot? Oh, I'll reboot
Jamaican Mike told me that.
Your ass.
He said he called customer service one day and and was speaking to a woman, and he caught a little bit of an accent, because again they do train to they do try to lose their accents. Mm-hmm. So, but Jamaican Mike, I was picking up my car. He said, "Do you guys have a customer service department in Jamaica?" Because he was on the phone and he caught a little something, and he asked the woman on the phone. He said, "Are you Jamaican?" "Yes, I'm in Jamaica right now." And he was like, there you go.
That is bad.
I also like Cablevision. Whenever I call Cablevision with a problem, you go through the menu for an hour, and then you finally get
Hello, welcome to Cablevision. May I help you?
and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Game over.
I instantly think my problem is not going to be solved. I gotta tell. All right, yeah. I'm not getting a picture. The channel won't change, and it's been like this. And
All right, Mr. Carmaninia, did you reboot the box?
No.
All right, Mr. Carmaninia, thank you. Could you please unplug the box and let it without the plug for 18 hours?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, I'll wait.
You're like, it takes forever.
Classic.
I want to hear, hello, hi, I'm Bob, your Cablevision guy.
And I smoke Lucky.
I have all the answers. Light up a Lucky and I'll talk you through this. All right, look through the Norden bomb sight. Do you see Hiroshima? That's what I want. Not may I help you. I don't want may I help you. Oh, we've just reached a point where it's just futile. We love our technology, believe me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, thank God I have been afforded the luxury, Opie. I have been blessed in this life with an occupation that gives me another option. To throw it the fuck away and buy a new one. Because I can't imagine. My monitor went on the fritz about 2 weeks ago. I turned it on. It made a boop sound.
And powered up.
And went black. Just nothing. Nothingness.
That's not good.
So I'm jiggling the wires. I change things around. I do that. And you know what I finally did? Fuck it. I unplugged it. I went to Dell. I got a new monitor. But, you know, I would have been on there. I would have maybe sending it back.
God, if you guys, for the people that don't make a lot of money, you guys should just camp out outside Anthony's
There you
house.
go. Camp out.
I mean, you could get a couch that has one lousy, stupid booger
You got
somewhere on it.
Mm-hmm.
You could get a monitor. What else do you just throw away because you don't feel like fixing it?
All right, about a month ago, my girlfriend's computer was really overheating, and it started crashing to the blue fatal screen, and there was a problem with an overheating problem. So I opened it up. Apparently there was a lot of dust in the fan, and one of the fan motors by the power pack petered out. So the power pack itself had heated up so much that it burnt out. Now, instead of getting a new power pack, I had another PC laying around. So I just took the hard drive out of her computer, put it in this older computer where the power pack was good. It's almost like if you got a flat, take your remaining good tires off and put it on a new car with one good tire. That's pretty much what I did. And took the computer then with everything else in it and the bad power pack out on the street. Goodbye, because yes, Steve, I cannot deal with it. I can't deal.
Maybe $50 worth of a part. Maybe.
I know.
I needed it fixed then. Throw it away.
See, this is the difference, though. People could do drive-bys, drive by your house and get some really nice stuff.
They
just
probably
can't.
could.
When I have a problem, not only do I put it outside, but I have to smash it.
You got to smash it.
Just because of the anger.
You don't want.
You remember when we were moving to Boston and you showed up at my apartment and I was just in mid smashing everything I owned.
When I pulled up, you actually were spinning a VCR over your head by the cord like a lasso, and then you threw it out on the street and laughed at the way it crashed. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm basing my life on this guy. Yeah, it was quite frightening.
I had okay stuff back in the day, but when we were moving to Boston, I knew I just wanted to buy all new stuff, And instead of leaving it all nice on the curb where maybe
somebody else might get it,
maybe someone a little less unfortunate could drive by and have a great day. I'm like, screw that. I just smash
it. You're not getting it if I can't have it. That was the way I got my televisions when I used to rent room for rent and upstairs in a house kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Where there was, 2 rooms up there and someone else would rent another room and the people would live downstairs. You'd have your separate entrance kind of thing. But in essence, you're living in a room with like a hot plate kind of arrangement. Red neon sign blinking outside. And to get a television, I would drive around on the weekends and just look for one on the street. I would grab up about 3 of them, bring them upstairs, try them. If one of them worked or needed a part, maybe I could grab off another one.
Yeah.
I would do that, and that's how I got my televisions for many years. That was it.
I got my whole dorm room that way. Well, not even the dorm room. When I was living in the fraternity house, every, the end of the summer is coming, the semester's about to begin, rent a big, like a van or something, and just drive around all the neighborhoods like, there's the couch.
Did you get the big wooden spool, electrical
Right,
wire
exactly.
spool to use as a table, man?
Yeah, there's the wooden spool.
Hey, some milk crates.
Right.
Those will be my night tables.
And I would just collect all this stuff, drive all the way up to Geneseo, and make it work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every year. Steal a couple signs.
Yeah, you find some good stuff in there when you're, just starting out.
No one's going to miss that stop sign.
Nah, it's great for the wall, great wall decoration.
No one's going to miss that stop sign leading to 25A. Screw it. Yeah. Definitely. I would do that every summer, just before the semester would start.
That was it.
Sometimes you look out, you get a nice mattress, too. That was a little...
All right.
I was going to say...
Never in all my day.
I was going to say that's a little tricky. I understand. You got to make sure the stains aren't that bad and that you can maybe flip it over.
No, I was never able to afford
about
a mattress. Where did I get my bedding from?
I had absolutely no money, man.
Ew. That's right. I actually got my grandma's bed, which is kind of sick when you think her and Grandpa were fucking on it for a while. Steve ripped his headphones off.
Wait,
I
Steve,
can't
wanna
hear
hear
that.
No, screw that. The grandparents effing, that's whatever. But what about later in life when they were just losing their bowels in the middle of the night?
No, she wasn't doing that.
Yeah, how do
Grandma
you know?
wasn't crapping the bed.
How do you know?
You'd see stains.
I know.
How do you know?
I know. Grandma wasn't like that. Not when I got that bed, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She wasn't all that old, which leads me to believe there might have been some, grandma-grandpa action going on the bed. I should have checked it with a black light.
I'm thinking maybe a little butt sex.
No, stop it.
Or a little crime scene sex.
No.
Nice.
No, it was just the basic missionary position to show their appreciation
Are you
for each other.
insane?
That's all it was. There was nothing kinky going on. Grandpa would get back from the trotters at the track. He'd come up and, maybe he hit a horse.
Hey, kids, you think
feel
you're...
good and feel like now he's got to hit Grandma.
Hey, kids, you think you're a young stud? You know all those crazy positions you try in bed? Your grandparents did the exact same thing. Of course they did.
It's pure missionary.
Of course they did.
That's it. Just to show that they appreciate each other's company for so many years. And then they're done. Actually never even left any stains on the bed.
Your grandma did backward cowgirl.
No.
Yes, she did.
Never, ever. Ever was there a backward cowgirl involved.
She was probably doing it well into her 60s.
You're a mad person. That is not. That never happened.
Dude, have you ever seen old stag films? Sure. I mean, I'm not suggesting anything personal. I'm just saying, old stag films. If now they're transferring them to DVD, you can see that all of these twisted sexual positions existed back in the 20s, right when the kinetoscope was being.
Yeah, we think we're coming up with new ones. Stop.
It was just for making kids, and then maybe the kinkier stuff was left for the gumad. That was her job.
I came to a realization that older people, grandparents, were still very, very horny. When I was driving on I-95 with my grandma, 85 years old.
Yeah. Before or after you tongue kissed her?
A few years after I tongue kissed her.
Do the people even know that story? So it's a little more innocent than it sounds, people.
So we'll just let it sit there then. That's the beauty of this show.
And you
Speculate about that, assholes.
You might be asking, how the hell is it innocent if Opie tongue kissed his
I was
grandma?
just, my grandma was around a lot, and I was giving her a kiss goodnight, and I had my mouth open, that's all. And I got closer and closer to my grandma with my mouth opened, and there may have been a little tongue action by accident, pretty much. And she yelled at me and said, "Close your fucking mouth." I didn't know. I was just a little boy.
Okay. Yeah.
Little boy. But anyway, we're on I-95. My grandma at the time was 85. My dad was in the Veterans Hospital having his quadruple bypass surgery. Oof. So we had to go up there to see him because it was the best hospital at the time, blah, blah, blah. And we're on I-95, and there's a car in the grandma lane, basically, right? Mm-hmm. Going really, really slow. And I noticed, oh my God, this guy's getting roadhead. Holy ass, which is so freaking cool when you see shit like that on the highway when you're traveling, right? And So I think either my sister or I had a couple brothers. There were more people in the car, and we're all like, "Oh wow, Jesus, look at this," you know. And of course, you know, you gotta check it out. So we're slowing down and checking it out and stuff. And I looked at my grandma. She had the biggest freaking smile on her face. She was enjoying the hell.
Really?
Out. Oh yeah, because I guarantee her mind was in overdrive, thinking about all the crazy stuff she did in her life.
You think one time
guaranteed
the old Model T was going?
Yeah. Horse and buggy.
Why don't you come over here? Light up a Lucky. Head in the lap in the Model T.
And that's when I looked at my grandma and thought, man, if the circumstances were right, my grandma would want some action still.
Oh.
And she was 85 at the time. I mean, the smile, the enjoyment she got. She got such enjoyment knowing that was going on right next to us on the highway.
Well, when they break out the old photo album, you ever have that whole thing where you're with your grandparents and they break out the old photo album and you're looking through those old black and white pictures with the frayed-looking edges and the date on the bottom, and it's, you know, from the 20s or 30s, and it's them at the beach. And you see your grandmother like smiling and laughing with guys hanging out, and they're on the beach in their bathing suits with their cone tits. But you know they were like, you know, they're having a good time, and the guys are looking at the girls and they got sex on their minds.
It would be their swimming bloomers, though.
Their I'm not talking like the 1890s, the gay 90s.
To get bathing suits from the 20s, you know, come on.
The 30s they had they had those torpedo kind of top thing going. And they're kind of they're laying back on the towel with their arms behind them and their head thrown back, their raven hair flowing in the wind kind of thing, and you look and go,
no, that wasn't the wind, that was all the sperm in their hair. They were down the beach just before that picture was taken, and they were having monkey sex.
No, not on the beach.
You don't think your grandma might have had sex on a beach?
No.
Oh, are you insane?
No.
You're insane.
It was oil from the assembly line putting together those P-51 Mustangs. We'll push the Hun back to Berlin. That's what it was. Yeah, but and you look at those pictures and it does come to your mind like, wow, these people were real people. You know, you don't think of your grandparents as real people because they're such grandparents. They're just older people. And then you look at them in that setting and they're just, you know, just like you were, going out looking for a good time, looking to get laid, looking to get high, looking to, you know, just have fun. And it's kind of, you don't really think about it until you look at those pictures. Oh, here's me, and this is a guy that I dated. Yeah, let's translate. You fucked this guy? This guy might have been Grandpa? Oh, you don't want to hear about stuff like that. Oh, I was very attracted to this boy.
Yeah.
Very attracted to him. This boy had a crush on me. Oh, he used to jack off to you, Grandma? Is that what you're saying? Oh.
Yeah, they just made it sound a lot nicer back then, that's all.
That's it, they made it sound nicer.
And they dressed a lot nicer.
Nicer choice of words.
Making you think that this craziness wasn't going on.
And their names didn't sound hot.
They woke up on a Sunday morning and they put a suit on.
Yeah.
The hell was that about?
A suit on a Sunday morning.
Gotta be insane to do that.
This was my friend. All the boys were crazy for Gertrude. They all loved Gertie. Here's my friend Mildred, who was real hot stuff. Mildred was never hot.
Never. All right. Steve.
Yeah.
What was going on in your mind on Friday? All that crap was going down.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Well, you know, you and I talked about this on Friday night, and it was, I think Anthony and Ben and I looked at each other, and we knew exactly what was going on when it was happening. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot of, thought going on. There was like, all right, it's happening. You know, because everybody in these situations, you either talk about what's bugging you when it's bothering you, or you bottle it up and you let it stew, and eventually there's someone says one comment, and it's basically the straw that breaks the camel's back, and that's when everything comes out.
That's a good point, by the way, which you made, too. You said this has obviously been brewing for a long time, and you guys really need to talk.
Yeah.
Steve's so right. You know, both of us have just been holding something inside.
Yeah, this is little quips and jabs every so often, but like you said, if both of your switches aren't in the on position, then you just blow it off. Right. One or the other will just say, yeah, we can make some of this, and on Friday it just happened that both switches were up and armed and ready to go.
And it was just cannons going back and forth. This is why bands that have been together for years hire therapists. You know, Metallica was really the only people that figured out that you could videotape it and make money off of it.
I got to tell you something. Watching Some Kind of Monster, that brought everything in perspective with me, because I mean, a lot of the stuff that went on in that movie, you know, Ant and I have had some of those growing pains over the years and stuff, and it was just so good to know that, you know, someone else that out there goes through that.
Yeah,
because no one ever really exposed that before Metallica did.
I mean, but bands have been doing it for years. Aerosmith hired therapists, Megadeth hired therapists.
But I mean, to actually see it on film, you know, where they're calling each other assholes and
all the dirt.
Oh man, if you haven't seen Some Kind of Monster yet, I highly recommend that movie. It's just really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this situation where you've got all these very strong personalities, and you're spending a lot of time together in a confined space, and you're not always going to agree.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the reactions can get so volatile, and you just hope to God. I remember Ben and I were just sitting there, and it's like watching your parents fight. It really is. Here's two people that you care about, that you're friends with, and they're just saying vicious, horrible shit to one another. And you're just hoping to God that one of them pulls back and moves on before they say something that they really regret. That's.
I don't know, dickhead, because I don't know what was going on that day, fuckface.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone enjoying the Jimmy versus Opie soundboard. Jimmy and I laughed about that part of the argument, by the way, on Saturday when we talked. We're like, God, we said some really dumb, vicious stuff. And
that is so sociopathic. I almost don't know how to respond to it.
You know what I noticed, and I'm sure Anthony picked up on this. When you think of all the horrible things you've heard Jimmy say when he's mad at somebody, you notice how restrained he was.
Yeah,
he was incredibly restrained.
Well, believe it or not, I was too.
Oh, I know, but I mean, still, he was. You know, I mean, he was almost...
Because why? Because in the end, we respect each other, and we are friends, and I believe we wouldn't go down that road.
You're
convinced Hugh Pinero hates the show, right?
Are you really on the air trying to throw me under the bus with Hugh Pinero?
Well, now if you want to...
Holy shit.
Whoever came up with that, brilliant, man. I think you can get to it through whackbag.com.
Yeah, we put up links, too.
You can make your own argument.
All right.
Great.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you, do we have the Jimmy Stewart customer service call? We played it.
I always thought
it's
we
from
did.
the old days. We had a version of it, but it kind of just ends. We never got another version of that?
I can look for it. Good version.
We don't have it?
I liked a lot of those customer service calls that, not the Jimmy Stewart one, the other ones where people call up and the cup holder one. That was a famous one where somebody said that they can't get their cup holder back in, and it turned out that it was their disk drive.
Oh,
thing.
Yeah.
And the foot pedal isn't working, and that was the mouse. He put it on the floor and was using it as a foot pedal.
I'm sure some of the old listeners will email them in to Steve. By the way, send all your audio clips right to Steve. Steve at FoundryMusic.com.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people send them to me, but how my email is set up, I can't send files to Steve. I can't forward files.
Oh, by the way, I've been chastised for years now. I'll say years for not cleaning out my email.
Right.
It's the email at opieandanthony.com.
Oh my God!
That one.
Look at you. You're questioning
I'm like,
it.
where is it? What? Where? Opie and who?
Oh my God!
I know. I have no clue where it was, what it was, but I finally found the link and my passwords and everything. So I went in and I cleaned it out. And I checked yesterday and realized I missed nothing. Nothing. There is more spam coming into that account.
It's brutal.
Out of 60 emails I got when I checked it, no shit, 56.
Yeah, exactly.
About 56. I got 4 emails from listeners that were like, "Dude, you cleaned out your email?" And that was it. Let me get back to this guy. Yes!
Which means that guy, this is how obsessive some of our fans are.
Yeah.
That guy has been checking every single day for the last 2 years.
Every day he's been emailing me and getting a letter kicked back.
Right.
And this time he emailed, it didn't get kicked back, so he probably sent 2 of them. So 2 of them that I got were from him. One didn't get kicked back, and then he's like, "Dude, clean out your email?" But the spam for Viagra, Cialis, arthritis drugs, mortgages, hard-ons, it's ridiculous. Painkillers, Canadian pharmaceuticals.
Vicodin.
unbelievable junk that goes into this account.
What about
That's
the
why I
Lonely
get-
Housewives?
Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
I get rooked in on those all the time.
Do you?
Hi, it's been a while.
Hi. Or R.E., you know?
Right.
It's like, well, I must have sent her something. She's just getting back to me. R.E., what we talked about. I'm like, oh, let me pop this. My pussy is waiting for you. And, oh, God.
Yeah, and the spam's getting so good that they personalize it now to the point where you start reading this as an email and your name's in it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why is this lonely housewife writing me?
She's writing me.
Right, because at first it all kind of, it's almost like something that could have been written to you. Then all of a sudden like, wait a minute, I know what's going on here.
I've been bamboozled.
I have. But sometimes it takes 2 or 3 lines now.
Yeah.
In the past, it was so obvious right away, but now they're getting
I know.
smarter and smarter.
Yeah, a lot of them you open now because, it's R.E. Like, wait a minute. She's just responding to something I sent.
So, Opie, I know you're lonely. Well,
I'm lonely.
Well, we have 18-year-old girls standing by.
You do?
If you go to this website, I'm like, what?
I didn't even ask for these.
Right. All right, we should break here.
All righty.
Hey, we got Bill Dwyer coming in today. He's a very, very funny guy. Extremely funny guy. At 10 a.m., though? All right. He'll do the last hour of our show with us.
Last hour, if he comes in at 10, you're just going to have him wait until 5 to 11 anyway.
I know, Anthony, I know.
Jesus Christ.
Also, we got to talk
Don't
about...
say that.
Whoa, hey. Oh, my God.
No, I'm not.
We have an unlucky lottery we're going to get to.
Stop with the semantics.
In a little while. Also, Anthony, this unlucky lottery is just beyond amazing. The odds of this happening are just unbelievable.
You know that's what I was talking about.
And then also we got to talk about the pervs on the subway. I mean, the Post writes this, I guess in yesterday's paper, as one of their big stories on page 2. I was laughing so freaking hard. And they're trying to get to you with these type of stories, and I just think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
I really do. And I hate to say this, but I don't think people are affected by this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm convinced of that.
As long as they keep to themselves?
Yeah. As long as there's no touching and stuff like that going on, and as long as there's no underage crap going on, where it's a dirty old man and showing an underage girl. But if you're like a woman,
that's too hot.
If you're a woman and one of these things happens to you, I gotta think you're grossed out, disgusted, but then you're laughing inside because I mean just how ridiculous it is. We got a couple examples. We'll get to it in a few minutes here. Okay.
Right.
All right. In the meantime, Derek, hit that.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the Owen virus.
Day by day, it's hard to see the changes you've been through. A little bit of learning, a little bit of growing, all adds up to you.
When Dad tries to touch you.
A girl to woman too. And if you want to reach your destiny, here's what you've got to do.
Dad has AIDS, you know. Dad has AIDS.
Oh, it's time to change your last name because you're embarrassed. Time to change your
melanoma.
Open sores on my face. Sitting in court with Denzel as my lawyer. Marches in my name.
In the dumper. When it's time to change your diaper because you don't have control of your faculties.
Sha-na-na-na-na-na, make a quilt. Sha-na-na-na-na-na.
Autumn turns to winter, you'll be dead by spring.
Easier to bury you in summer because the ground isn't frozen. Oh, it's time to change.
You're the worst at rhyming.
I wasn't supposed to rhyme.
I know.
Time to change that coffin order for a skinnier one.
Got to rearrange those flowers. No more tulips, because that's what got him in trouble. It's time to rearrange.
That's horrible. Horribly funny.
Sha-na-na, ho 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 ho.
Anyway.
Your dad's a fag. No.
Oh. Where's my ACT? Oh, very good.
Yeah, well, where were we?
Opie's high voice.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we were.
That's where we were, huh?
No.
So it's, hi, Mom, I got fired from work for masturbating.
Hi, Mom, Dad's losing weight.
Hi, Mom, Dad had to punch another hole in the old belt again.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading. XM 202, the Opie and Anthony Show.
Travis.
You like Travis, huh, Ant?
He is the best. Right before we went to break, you know how short our breaks are here? The second we went into break, I had, you hear this? This is the small can of club soda that Ricky had gotten me. It took 40 minutes to bring back this morning. I was out of club soda, so I needed another. We go to break. I go, I could use another club soda. Travis comes in, grabs my money, leaves. Right when we get back on the air, he's running into the studio, hands me my icy cold bottle of club soda. Within minute, I mean, unbelievable.
That kid's a go-getter.
What a go-getter.
He's a go-getter, and Ricky is, he's Ricky. I hear he's failing out of school and everything over this internship. What is he doing?
He's.
All right, grab that mic. What do you know about Ricky
here? And for some reason, he's blowing off everything else in his life.
I heard some things. Heard he's not doing well in college. He's doing really bad. His GPA is way down, and apparently he's not really giving a crap because he's more concerned about doing the internship than fixing his college stuff.
Well, he thinks, I guess, that this internship is going to do what? Get him a job?
Lead to somewhere.
Is that what he thinks?
One would assume.
Anthony?
Yeah.
Because people expect it from me. This is where we want to change roles. And,
oh, really?
And we want people to realize that you're a lot like me as well.
I don't know if I have it in me, though.
You got to tell him he's going nowhere. Because I don't want him to wreck his whole life.
I'll try to be a little diplomatic about it.
Yeah, you're a little better.
I don't know if I can be nasty.
You're a little better at it than I.
What are we going to try to put across the point that he really is going nowhere in this line of work? Like, if his dream is to be... Let's find out what he wants to do in radio first.
Right. Where's Ricky?
Where is Ricky?
Nathaniel?
He's out right now.
He's out?
What is he doing now?
He's on some sort of errand.
What kind of errand is he on? Well, I love knowing what he's...
I got to tell you, there's something else going on here. You know, people... you guys are dicks, too. I really got to start showing everybody that I'm not the only dick that works on this radio show. They fuck with Ricky all the time.
Yeah.
Ask Ben the day last week where I just shook my head. I'm like, what are you doing?
The newspapers.
You know the big couch outside our office?
Uh-huh.
I guess there's a pile of newspapers, okay?
Yeah.
Am I exaggerating if I say it's 2 to 3 feet high?
It's about 2 weeks worth of newspapers.
Yeah. 2 weeks of newspapers.
And for us, that's a lot of papers.
Well, because it's the New York Times, Newsday, Daily News, New York Post, and then there was a bunch of Boston papers in there.
New York Times, is that a paper here in the city?
Yeah, well.
Be damned if I've ever cracked that one open.
He's getting a CAT-5 cable for Mars.
Cat-5 cable.
Oh my God.
Are you insane?
Luck. He's getting a Cat-5 cable for Mars. He might as well go to Mars to try to get it. Because he is not going to come back with the right cable.
Oh, no. Do you realize he's going to go to a pet store? We didn't send him. Mars sent him.
He's going to come back with a kitten.
Do you realize this guy
with
will
5 of them?
This guy's going to have 5 kittens. Are you insane?
What? You guys wanted...
I keep saying, are you insane today?
You guys wanted 5 cats.
Why would you send him to go get a Cat-5 cable?
Well, I wrote the specifics down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, because that helps.
God.
That helps.
I can't wait to see the outcome of this.
Oh, my... It cannot be right.
How long ago did he leave?
15 minutes
15 minutes.
And where did he have to go? CompUSA?
Half a block.
Oh, my
Staples.
God.
It's right on the
Staples?
corner. Yeah, it's right on the corner.
There's a Staples right here?
Yeah. 57th and 6th.
Yeah, how about that?
He is wandering around right now looking for a pet store. I'm telling you. Anyway, so I forgot what day it was. It was like Thursday or Friday last week. There was a huge stack of papers, and Ricky's sitting there, and he's halfway through the stack. This was the day we had to deal with the whole channel blocking issue, so we were here a long time. We didn't get out of here until like 12:30, whatever.
What issue was there with channel blocking?
I don't remember anymore. So
it's not an issue. Why is it always got to be an issue? Sorry, I was trying to get something going. A little heated argument.
With me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. So we finally are leaving an hour and a half after the show ends, and I see Ricky outside the office, and there's a huge stack of papers, and he's going through every paper, and he's only halfway done. So there's still a half a stack on the couch and a huge half a stack on the floor, the ones he went through already. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to find the Opie and Anthony advertising, you know, because they did full page ads for our show.
Yeah.
This goes back a week or so ago. So I guess Ben basically told him to find the full page ad because we want to save it or something, right?
Some busy work.
But here's the problem. It wasn't in any of those papers.
No, we already had them.
And
Ricky,
Ricky,
they were somewhere else.
Oh, no.
This is what they do to the kid, just to mess with him.
Oh.
And as I'm walking out, Ben walks by and goes, "Don't worry, Ricky, it's in there. Keep looking." And it was obvious he was at it for, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes possibly.
It was time for his hazing. He needed his hazing. These guys
hazing.
we were all
He's been
in on
getting
it.
a hazing
But
the whole time.
Dude, they're all in on it, so they're all giggling behind his back and stuff. And there's Ricky. Here, give me a. This is it. Just over and over again. And with Ben, like, just looking over him, going, "Don't worry, it's in there. Keep looking."
Oh, then and Danny sending them out to get different newspapers, and then Steve sending them to get
And
stuff.
the guy is not smart enough to know that they're just acting with
You know,
him.
just
everyone's
when,
laughing.
Just when you think that people kind of grow up and mature, it never ends. It never ends for the guy in gym class that just got smashed in the face with the dodgeball every time. He's that guy. Just never ends for the guy that you used to just, when he's trying to walk home, the books got thrown in the puddle. You make him do the push-ups over the piece of shit laying in the field. That doesn't go away. He's still that, like, it's still in the workplace. It probably happens in fucking retirement homes. They're still ragging on people. Probably the old guy is like, they goof on him, they steal his bedpan, it just doesn't end. I kind of feel bad for them.
They're probably all in the rec room and all in their wheelchairs, and you got 4 or 5 knowing one guy is gullible going, "No, man, the hot nurse, she's waiting for you in your room right now," and he wheels all the way down to his room.
Yeah,
comes back. No, she's down, in the TV room, just setting them all over
waiting for you down there.
Home, right?
They like wipe shit on his shuffleboard stick handle. Look at, he's touching it.
You make a good point. I think you go to your grave just goofing the whole way.
There's always just
way.
the weak person, the person that is just meant to be goofed on through life, and it's just I feel bad for the kid, And the only saving grace here is he is young enough where eventually that might change, because you have seen little geeky people that grow up and kind of make some of themselves. Yeah. Bill Gates is a great example, but I don't know. It's looking grim. It's looking grim for him.
You're going to have a conversation with him?
We'll have a little conversation. I want to find out what he wants to do and how this internship is going to help him propel him into this goal. And, it might not work out.
Hey, where's Travis? I got to ask him about something, too. Watch, Travis will be here in seconds. This guy's a go-getter.
Travis is good.
Watch this, Ant.
He's motivated.
Yes. Travis, I have one question for you.
Uh-huh.
Were you in the, I'll call it the third row. Were you in the third row of the Opie and Anthony press conference when we were at the Hard Rock Cafe?
Yes.
Oh, he was.
Yes, I was there, and I believe Nathaniel was there as well.
Yeah, but we didn't know you back then.
No. Oh, I didn't know you knew Nathaniel as well. Why? What?
No, nothing bad. It creeped me out a little bit.
It creeped you out?
I'll tell you why, because we now know Travis. He's an intern here, and he does an unbelievable job. You really do.
Thank you.
You're on top of everything that we ask you to do. But I finally, took my digital camera and I got all the pictures printed up, right?
Oh, wow, and you spotted them in one of them?
Oh, my God. And I got copies for you, whatever, and I keep forgetting to bring them in. Someone has to remind me. I'll bring them in tomorrow because this will be kind of funny.
Yeah.
And remember when we were doing our huge XM announcement at the Hard Rock Cafe, announcing we're going to satellite radio and stuff?
Yeah.
And my brother was taking pictures for me all over the room and, documenting the day because it was a huge day for us, obviously. Well, I asked my brother, who was in the front row, I'm like, give me the camera. So I take a couple pictures of the crowd, right? So I'm going through these pictures, no big deal. It's our whole tour and everything. And I come upon the picture that I took from the stage, from the podium. And there's Travis, as obvious could be, like dead center of the audience, staring at us like he's a Psycho fan. And I'm like, oh my God, I think we might have hired a stalker.
No, I went actually to ask you guys about internships.
Oh, okay.
And I did.
Yeah, actually, you did ask.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I kind of remember.
But all of a
about
sudden,
that.
I'm like, I know that. Oh my God, he now works for us.
Yeah.
It was just this weird thing that there he is, all there, smiling, pretty much very close to the stage.
Nathaniel was there too. Yeah. And didn't you? Did you? Yeah, come on in here because I gotta ask Nathaniel something. I think he might have spoken to me.
Oh, really?
Nathaniel, did you speak to me that day about an internship?
Yes, I spoke to both of you,
Yes, you did.
actually.
I completely was very nice to you. I was like, yeah, let me take your info, and then I completely blew him off. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
That. Sorry.
Nah,
Didn't hear hide nor hair. And
I didn't take it personally. I
but
just thought
you had worked at the Bone.
Yes.
Out
I
on Long
remember talking
Island,
to you
so
that day.
he knew
That
my
was
brother.
you?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Because he knew my brother from working at the Bone.
Yeah.
My brother used to go in there and do stuff for that show. And then, he came up to me and said he'd hung out with my brother over there and wants to intern. And I was like, yeah, give me your info. And, of course, I passed it on to my garbage pail.
Yeah,
sorry.
I probably went home. I was like, yeah, I had a great conversation with Open Ant today.
Oh, I know.
Things are looking real good.
Yeah, I think this is really going to work out. They really seemed like they wanted somebody. Yeah, sure. Talk to Ben. I'm the worst. And let me just, something. It's good for me to probably say this now. Anything you give me at a live appearance that we do,
Don't ruin
anything,
it. Don't
unless
ruin it.
it's fucking gold doubloons, I am throwing away. I don't care if I look and go. I'll look you right in the face and go, oh no, I know what I've said, but this I'll give a listen to, or this I'll look at, or I will call. I will not. Whatever you give me will not leave the building with me.
Band CDs are the worst. No offense to all you guys trying to make it out there. They're the worst.
Sorry.
Could you please listen to my band? I don't have time to listen to my favorite bands at this point.
I got hundreds of XM channels I don't listen to. I could be sifting through.
Godsmack didn't have a chance with us. That pretty much should say a lot to you if you're a band giving us a CD. And I don't mean anything bad by it. I just don't have time. I threw Godsmack's CD away.
Yeah.
Sully personally gave me the CD that was going to become the first Godsmack record, which was beyond huge, and now they're like one of the biggest rock bands in the world.
Dude, check this out. It's my band.
It was we did
sure.
We did an appearance at one of these music centers with Sully. He was doing a drum demonstration. We all hung out. We had a great time. And he's like, here's my latest project I'm working on. Why don't you guys give it a listen? He was giving the CD to everybody all over Boston. On the way home, I threw it into one of the rivers.
Yep.
I think it's the Connecticut River officially. I don't know. Or maybe the Charles River, whatever. One of these.
Whatever.
I was going over a bridge. Jay was in the car, our old pal Jay. I go, Jay, open the window, and I threw his CD into the river.
Because it used to make us laugh, kind of, when we'd get a stack of these, and we'd actually bring it out to our car when we're all driving back to our homes or whatever it is, if we're all in the same vehicle. We just laugh at how this poor son of a bitch probably put his work and effort and really gave it to us with the intention of us listening and has these fantasies of us playing it on the air or something, and it's just getting thrown out the window. It's horrible. It really is horrible and cruel.
Yeah, we understand that. I did it just to make Jay and you laugh.
Yeah, make us laugh.
Because Jay would get so uncomfortable, like, you're not going. You're
He's
not.
Like,
you're
dude,
not.
What'll it
Open
take
the
to
window.
just listen to it for a second?
Open the window.
And Oak's like fake throwing it at first, pulling it back, and then it just goes, wee!
And let it be known, I'm a huge Godsmack fan. Sully ended up becoming friends with the show, and I missed my opportunity. I could have been the guy instead of Rocco.
Right, that broke it. But yeah, it was Rocco, because Rocco didn't ever have shit for his show. So anything that would fill 2 minutes, like a Godsmack song,
I could have been the guy.
Yeah, I broke this record, dude.
But it was basically gold. It was like Kurt Cobain, because I'm sure he did the same thing. It's like Kurt Cobain handing over his demo tape to a local DJ, and that DJ throwing it into the
throwing it
river.
without listening. I bet this is gonna suck.
Right.
Not even giving it a try.
So whatever.
Horrible.
Well, I hope you had the same enjoyment throwing away my homemade business card I had made on a computer.
I'm sorry, Nathaniel.
Copied the little bone logo off the website. I was so happy.
All right.
Well, you know I have the utmost confidence and respect in you now, and
Well, I appreciate it.
You've earned it, sir.
So my stalking didn't work. Fine.
No, the stalking didn't work. Hard work and perseverance, that worked. We've all learned a lesson here today.
Sure.
You know, Ricky himself, I hear somebody saying Ricky was the first caller we had on the air.
Oh, really?
Is that true? Some guy,
Well, he was
Zagman
here
from
for
Whackbag.
He was here for cherry
And
darts.
he was in the cherry dart
I remember that.
competition. So obviously, him. Hey, you're back.
Hi.
What did the guys have you doing?
I had to go to CompUSA to look for some cable for Mars. For
Some cable.
another event. Yes.
And did you get the cable?
No, I didn't have to get it. I just had to see if whether it was available or not.
Oh. Why didn't you? I thought you had to get it.
No. He's going to get it later.
Oh, they didn't trust you to get it.
No.
It was a Cat 5 cable?
Yeah.
And you found one?
Yeah, I had to find one the length of 250 feet.
Ricky A wants to talk to you today.
Sure.
Ricky brought your wacky horn. Is that true, too?
Yeah, I bought it the second week. That little thingy right there,
Thank
yeah.
you, Ricky.
Yeah, no problem.
Ricky, we hear you're having a few problems with school, maybe at home. And
what do you mean?
it involves time spent here doing your internship. Maybe a little more time spent here than should be spent here, and maybe more time should be spent doing other things. Is that what I'm hearing?
What do you mean, like?
I don't know. It sounds like you're shirking some of your school responsibilities, like your grades are slipping because you're spending time here.
Oh, no, my grades have always been slipping. I just... Yeah.
Oh, no, I've always sucked in school.
Yeah, I'm not even
my
going to lie.
grades have always been slipping.
Yeah, I'll admit that. I suck in school, yeah.
And I heard something else about the reason you got the taco job is that you were coming here for your internship, and your mom said that if you come back without a job, you're gone.
Yeah. There was basically, we had the 2 weeks off vacation or whatever, and it was going to be spent like doing nothing, but then Poe wanted help, and I told my parents, okay, maybe I don't have 2 weeks off, I was going to come and help Poe. He's security or whatever, and my mom flipped on me. She was like, don't go, you're coming here for the radio, you're learning about radio, not Poe, you're not going to help this guy, he's security.
Well, she sounds very wise.
So she was like, and if you don't find a job, because that's what you should be doing the 2 weeks, then and if you go down to the station and help this guy, then you're not going to be living here anymore.
Wow. Well, I just kind of want to know what goal do you have? What do you want to do?
Oh, Poe is not happy. Poe just walked right into the studio.
Wow.
Poe hasn't done this in quite a long time. Yes, Master Poe.
Poe, you're looking exceptionally badass today, I must say. You're wearing green camo pants and a black shirt with some kind of "I'll kick your ass" seal up over the heart.
Thank you.
That's nice. Very intimidating.
Ben just told me that you threw me under the bus.
Yeah, no. Then remember I told you during the 2 weeks off, my mom wouldn't let me help you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mommy wouldn't let you help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I understand, so I had to do it all by myself.
Yeah, I apologize for that, though.
No, that's okay. I understand. But next time you'll help me out, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Because I was talking to the guys. We were probably going to come back here at 4 o'clock in the morning and do some work. You ready for it?
Why not?
All right.
Little Ricky at Cobra Kai.
No, guys, I have to tell you, when he does help me, he works very hard.
Right.
He really does.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we hear.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Master Poe. So,
Ricky, what is it that you're looking to do with your life? What is your... You must have a goal, an end game somewhere. What do you want to do?
Hopefully radio.
Hopefully radio. You want to be...
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Well,
God damn it, are you fucking with me? Stupid! You're so stupid!
Okay, terrific.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You are insane.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Well, now you want to be on air?
Yeah.
Is that it? Be an on air?
Yeah, if that all works
personality.
out, yeah,
Do you want to do like talk or spin records?
Talk or spin records, whatever, both.
It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
just to kind of be on the air.
Mhm.
And you feel that this internship is a good way to get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
And that's why you're spending so much time
Mhm.
here doing this. All right. How do you think it's going, Ricky?
Not so well. I'll be honest.
Not so well.
Yeah.
What do you think? If you can make that assessment, you must base it on something. What do you believe is not going so well?
Well, I don't get food orders right first thing.
Well,
I mean, I
but as far as now I'll be open and honest here. As far as having a career in radio, an intern getting a food order right or wrong really doesn't have much to do with it. I'm sure young Opie, a young go-getter, probably screwed up a couple of food orders or really didn't want to get food or something like that. But his goal was to be on the air. No,
not even once.
You never screwed up?
No, not really. Not when it came to
Jesus.
getting someone food.
Getting someone food?
No.
It really isn't that tough a job, is it?
Come on, dude. Most places you order by a number now, too. I mean,
that's true.
Anthony needs a number 3.
Yeah.
I don't even ask him to get me food.
I'm just thinking, if you have to screw something up, that's pretty much it, is the food thing. And because it really doesn't have anything to do with radio. And what you're learning, as far as what you're going to need to know in radio. It's pretty much things you pick up just being around the vibe of a show,
Mhm.
And how do you think that's going?
You mean like picking up on all these things, noticing all the production,
Yeah,
how the show runs, and everything?
interacting with the guys in the glass booth over there. That the unseen heroes that keep the Opie and Anthony show going. Things like that. Are you learning from them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've seen how they work behind the scenes. They're busting their asses.
Do you
doing
feel
production
you'd
work.
be able, if one of them were out one day, to slip in and do their job?
I would hope.
Do you feel comfortable here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know, Ricky. I don't know if radio is
Is my
really
field?
for you. I just don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know. I've heard your tape, and again, it's not. You can't make a decision based on one air check, and perhaps you'll grow as an air personality. But based on that, your delivery or something, I believe to be successful in radio, aside from just learning stuff, you need some type of natural spark.
Yeah.
Something in your personality that, regardless of everything you can learn, you need something that is almost in you for life,
Yeah.
Like a sense of humor, maybe, some insight.
Maybe a radio voice?
A radio voice,
Yeah,
too. Yeah, you
maybe.
could have nothing upstairs, and if you have that radio voice to intro records, that's all you need. Read the liners, things like that. What do you see as maybe a talent, some kind of natural talent that you can't teach somebody, that you have that would put you ahead of others in radio?
Honestly, I really don't see anything.
Did you see that jerk?
He sees nothing. You don't. You see nothing in yourself.
Yeah, I'm a very negative person, so
You're a very negative
yeah.
person. You better not be negative around Opie.
Yeah, I
Get
know.
the negative out of his life.
All right.
You'll be the first one to go.
Really?
Wow. Because I'm thinking, Ricky, do you have a plan B? Is there a plan B for you, just in case any of this doesn't work out? Do you have? Do you know a trade skill? Perhaps a plumber's assistant?
I really don't have a plan B, to be honest.
No,
with
no
you,
plan B. Radio or nothing.
A warm
Yeah.
bath and some razor blades?
Because I don't know. I'm just not seeing it gelling with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see it. There's kind of...
Oh, come on, man. It's his dream. Stop.
Just seeing... I
Dude,
understand his
Jesus.
dream. I see a complete lack of confidence on your part. You're not a very confident person in yourself.
Well, Derek from Alabama is saying that Ricky has a voice for NPR radio.
Well,
maybe you could do some NPR stuff.
There you go. Do you think you'd be able to maybe give the issues a spin based on, your own take on it?
I guess I can, yeah.
Yeah? Might have to have him do that, Maybe that's his thing.
Well, he's good at improvising. I remember when Bruce Kelly was doing those interviews while we were on,
Oh, God.
on vacation. You know, they were asking all the people that are associated with us to give some words on us.
And we heard how horrible every one of those were.
Yeah.
Frenchie, the chef, telling his hours that he wakes up and goes to work. That's how bad. And they decided that yours weren't good enough to make that cut.
Oh, yeah.
There was a moment where it's like, all right, here's the time to shine. I can improv something a little. I'm going to show these guys that I got a little something.
I got to defend Bruce Kelly now.
Wow, really?
I really do. He didn't have much to work with because we ended up playing the ones that he thought were good. There were a whole bunch of interviews he did with some of the people that just never made the cut. One was with Ricky.
Ricky.
Which I think we should play right now. You want to listen in on this?
Let's give a little listen to the one that didn't make it.
All right.
Maybe Ricky can tell us what went wrong with this.
Ricky is one of the behind-the-scene members of the O&A virus on XM202 High Voltage. Ricky, what's your job?
I intern for the Opie and Anthony show. I basically do the things behind the scenes. I get them food, I get them coffee. I also do some paperwork with Master Poe, and I also get feedback for the guys.
What's the weirdest thing you've had to do for O&A?
Weirdest? Nothing particularly weird at all. I mean, the only thing they did was do a runaround on me, which was, they told me to get food over and over and over again, but like one of the foods was
the nervous gulp.
Like they would say that I screwed up the order somehow. Like I got them a bagel with cream cheese, and he goes, I give it to Jim, and Jim's like, no, see, this is toasted. Nobody likes a toasted bagel. So then he tosses it to the side, and then he's like, give me a regular bagel, but from a certain deli. So I had to go 2 blocks down away from the station and try to get the bagel and keep going over and over and over for coffee, for bagels, for over and over and again.
How did you become a member of the O&A virus?
I just gave my resume into Ben Sparks, the executive producer.
Ben Sparks, the executive
producer. Ben Sparks.
Ben Sparks.
Executive producer. See, that was...
Ben must have been tired. I got to be honest with you, man. Ben does a great job, but I think that day when you had it in your resume, Ben must have been tired.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest.
You think he was just like, yeah, all right. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I think. Those are the words that started the selection.
Ben was on a bender or something, said,
yeah,
what the hell?
I didn't want to say the actual story about how I got his card or whatever, but, mainly I...
Is it as exciting as the bagel story you told,
No, I just helped out during the Howard Stern rally, that was all. With huge signs. I was with Megan along the line. When Howard was leaving at the limo, I was right there with Megan with the huge sign right in his face. And at the Letterman show with a few other guys as well from Whackbag.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ben?
Well, Ricky, look at him. He's not all there, but he's a good kid. At the end of the day, he tries, He did a great job the day
what
of the
a
Howard
compliment from the executive producer.
No, I like Ricky.
That's a great review.
That's a great review.
He's not all there, but he tries.
He does. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Ricky tries, and he's done a good job.
At the end of the day, Ricky tries. That's something you say to the guy that comes in third in the Special Olympics.
Well, yeah. Well,
at the end of the day, Ricky does try.
How long did it take you to find the advertising, the full-page ad for Opie and Anthony the other day?
That took me the last hour all the way to 12.
The last hour of the show?
Yeah.
From 10 a.m. to 12. 2 hours you were looking through newspapers to find the full-page Opie and Anthony ad?
Yeah, and then
Ben told you to look for?
Yeah.
Who thinks you're a good guy?
He's a good guy.
Boy, Ben, you're just a great guy yourself.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yeah.
It took you 2 hours going through newspapers to find one full-page ad?
I ended up not finding it anyway, and other guys just told me, just forget about it,
So you didn't find it anyway?
No. After 2 hours?
Yeah.
But he tried, Ben.
He tried. He tries.
That's good.
Anywhere along the 2 hours did you think that maybe someone was fucking with you?
Yeah, but then I said, well, maybe they're not, but might as well keep doing it anyway.
Wouldn't you, at some point, maybe go up and go, guys, are you fucking with me?
I mainly don't do that. If it is, then...
Or in your inimitable style. Guys, are you fucking with me? Don't. Guys, don't fuck with me.
All right.
You need a little more gumption. That's the only word I could come up with. I don't know.
Well, you know, you can stay with the show as long as you want. You know,
You're welcome to, you know.
We'll buy you lunch every once in a while. That'll be cool.
Kick around, sure.
Yeah, we're not going to kick you out the door, but as far as making this a career with us,
yeah. Do you think, is there a goal where, like some of the people here, perhaps you'll be taken on board and be a paid employee of the Opie and Anthony Show?
I don't foresee that, to be honest with you.
You don't?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you got to be, you know, I know this is a bit, but you got to be more positive with yourself.
A little more.
Just a little more. I can't do this to the kid. You got to be positive, though, dude. You can't say that. You never know.
Nathaniel, yes?
Well, I have one concern with Ricky, which is there's a lot of sarcasm on this show, and I was concerned because the other day I was they were moving some stuff around the office, and I was sitting at Steve's computer doing some stuff, and I was surrounded by chairs, and I said, "Can I get one more chair around me, please?" And Ricky honestly goes over to the couch.
Stop it.
And starts pushing the couch towards me.
Oh, my God. You're kidding.
With no sense of irony at all.
Ricky, when are you in here next?
I'm in here Wednesday.
That is the funniest goddamn thing I've ever heard. Can I get one more chair? You didn't see the sarcasm there.
No, I just heard the statement. I said, all right, get another. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Never mind.
oh my God.
All right, here, Ricky, you're going to be back Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right. I think technically we're his bosses for this internship. I think at the end of the internship we actually have to write a review for his professors.
A little
and
review,
stuff.
yeah.
All right, we're going to give you a little assignment. We want you to do a small presentation on sarcasm for Wednesday's show.
You mean a verbal presentation, or?
Yeah, verbal.
No, use hand puppets to explore your feelings on sarcasm. It's radio, of course.
You got the
now Nathaniel's going, watch. He's going to come in now with hand puppets.
You got the next.
He doesn't understand.
You got the next 2 days to come up with a relatively short presentation on sarcasm.
How short?
That you could present to Anthony and I live on the show.
Okay.
All right.
How short?
Just, what is sarcasm, maybe some examples of sarcasm, things like that.
How long would you say this should be?
Like a 5-minute presentation.
5-minute presentation.
Okay.
All right. Now, the thing you did with asshole for the...
Bruce Kelly?
Oh, Bruce, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You did for him. Didn't you...
Why are you calling him an asshole?
I don't know. Pain in the ass, then. Not asshole. Pain in the ass. Because he is a pain in the ass. The thing you did with him, did you know when it was going on that it was really dull?
Yeah.
Now, when he asked you what's the strangest thing you did, you should have said, well, didn't it come to mind, maybe think of before I was an intern, I came in with cherry darts, and you could describe cherry darts and how crazy that was and stuff. Didn't you think that might have made a better story than going out to get a bagel and getting lost? And
I didn't think of it at the time, no.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing of spontaneity and thinking on your feet like that, and it's part of radio.
You want to go back to the Bruce Kelly thing? A couple more minutes here.
Oh, there was more?
Oh, yeah, hit that.
Jesus. Why did you become a member of the ONA Virus?
Just to be part of the show. I mean, it's also for college credit. I'm getting credit for this as well, but it's also for the fun. I mean, I'm a fan of this show. I love this show, and it's been fun so far.
First thing that comes to your mind when I say Opie and Anthony, talk, go.
Amazing. They're phenomenal. Like you can't get any better than them than that now. Like, there's a lot of other shows out there, but nothing can match Opie and Anthony. For now.
For now.
What's the difference between O&A on...
What do you mean for now?
Well,
Till Ricky gets on the air.
No.
You understand there's never going to be anyone better than us?
No, I mean, until the show actually ends and goes off the air, and
Right. Then we won't be the best show on the air because we'll be
off the air.
Yeah.
Off the air. Very good.
You can't get any better than them than that now. There's a lot of other shows out there, but nothing can match Opie and Anthony. For now.
What's the difference
nervous
between
laugh?
O&A on Stinky FM and O&A now on XM High Voltage 202?
The freedom to curse. I mean, they don't curse as much, but they still have more freedom to say more things and more open to say more things, in verse to when they were on the other station, where they had to hold back a lot of things, and just find code words for certain orifices of the body, or try to make up words, like I said, to how to disguise what they actually want to say, whether it be a curse word or something graphic on and whatever's happening.
You are Ned Nervous.
Who can be the biggest asshole when they're mad? O or A or Jimmy?
Wow.
I haven't seen
Prolific.
the worst of all of them, but I think I'd probably say Opie, but I wasn't there for his anger when I.
You motherfucker! Just kidding. Thank you. That's good acting, right?
Yeah.
I had got the milk at Dwayne Reed, and it took a while, and he flipped, and I had to go to leave because I had messed up on Steve's orders too, which I got him 2 regular Mountain Dews instead of 2 Diet Mountain Dews, so he was flipping, and I was gone, so I didn't get to see his fury in person.
There's a lot of members of the XM Nation who have not heard Opie and Anthony. Now that they're free on Channel 202, it's up to you to sell O and A to those members of your XM Nation.
Strap in.
Go.
Go.
Ow.
You're talking to people who've never heard them or have never heard of them. Talk to them.
I don't know how to.
Remember, it's all edited, so relax. It all gets edited.
And then he played his.
No, it's packaged up, so don't worry. You're going to sound brilliant no matter what you say.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get a degree in communication is kind of rough, you know.
It's okay.
So.
That's all right, man. Chill.
Yeah.
Remember, you're going to sell them to me. Sell them to me. Look at me right now and sell Opie and Anthony. I've never heard them. Who are these guys?
Opie and Anthony are based in New York. They just came out of Infinity Broadcasting 2 years ago for a stunt they did in St. Patrick's.
Forget that. Why should people listen?
Because they're an awesome show. I mean, tune into it, listen to it. If you don't like it, then fine, whatever. I mean, they're not really urging for fans. I mean, you know, they're just there. They're put out there to just do a show, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You know, it's particularly your taste.
What are some of your other favorite channels?
A few of the hip hop stations. I don't know the channels in partake because I don't really listen to the other channels in XM. I either just listen to Opie and Anthony or just try to do my homework or whatever. But particularly the hip-hop stations, maybe the techno stations. And that's about it. Oh, and the comedy channel, 150. I like that, too. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was really painful.
Yeah.
Well, any fucking time, sweetheart.
That's what he should have said. Oh, wow, that was like pulling teeth,
That
Ricky.
was brutal. Just sell me on the show. Wow. You got all tied up there.
Yeah. All right, well, Wednesday you come in with a little report on sarcasm, okay?
Okay.
Because we do a lot of that on this program. I'm not sure if you know that yet, but
Yeah.
So you really need to learn about sarcasm.
Okay.
And we'll learn all about that on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Little report. All right?
All right,
If
Ricky.
you don't have it, you got to go home.
Okay.
Cool. Not a threat, but I mean, you know, people are going to be counting on your little report about sarcasm, okay?
Right.
All right.
All right, there he goes, Ricky, our intern.
Thank you, Ricky. Remember, Plan B.
Plan B. Anthony, we got to take a
Everyone
break.
needs a Plan B, right?
We got something very interesting that's about to happen. Matt Hardy, who used to be a wrestler with the WWE, personally emailed me because he heard what Chris Jericho said on our show.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy had all sorts of problems happen to him while he was rehabbing an injury.
I want to hear Matt's side.
And Chris Jericho pretty much said it was pretty much I don't want to quote him, but he said that it's just wrong what the WWE did to Matt Hardy.
Said it was bad for business.
Bad for business. But basically, what happened there, Eric? Because even if you're not a wrestling fan, this is going to be very interesting radio because I think there's a bunch of people out there who can relate to this. Go ahead.
Well, he was dating a female wrestler named Lita with the WWE, and another wrestler, Edge, who I'm assuming is still married, wound up having relations with Lita, and she was still going out with Matt at the time, but he was out on an injury.
And Matt and Edge were friends, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he's back home, nursing this injury, trying to get back into the wrestling game.
And then,
and in the meantime, his chick, who's on the road because she works for the company, is now what I heard allegedly banging your friend.
Jesus Christ!
And to make matters worse, they delayed his return and then released him from the company. So he's not even working there anymore.
So we're going to get his side of the story in a
Why
few
would they
minutes
do
here.
that? Like, what's the speculation on that one?
And
Matt
then
will tell us.
on Raw Monday night, Lita was in the ring, and she had like 20,000 people basically
They were chanting, "You screwed Matt, and we want Matt." And she was supposed to be the good guy in this little interview shoot that they were doing, and people were just trashing her, yelling signs, everything.
Cool.
Right at MSG here in New York.
And that's one reason why I like Chris Jericho so much, because he came right out and said it's bad business.
Yeah.
Pretty
Chris don't care. He's got a career.
Yeah, pretty honest stuff from him though.
Yep.
So we're gonna take a break. Tell Matt. Matt's on hold right now. We're gonna talk to him next. See what this is all about. All right. But in the meantime, check out this.
On this day, prescribed by law and marked by ceremony, we are led to one conclusion.
This place
just blows.
You're being harsh.
The Opie and Anthony Show. Let's listen in on a show prep meeting in the Opie and Anthony laboratory.
Hey guys, anyone want a bagel?
No! Stop ruining the show, Eric.
The Opie and Anthony Show. Feel the love.
Hey, we're back with the Opie and Anthony program.
Where my old life used to be. Credit cards and memories all dumped into the sea. Well, this ain't no time for both as I fly into the sun. Well, you can't trust anybody if you can't trust number one. Well, the man tells me my future is not so far away.
Eric thought it'd be a good idea to play Matt Hardy's theme music. Sort of worked, I guess.
Hard to talk over.
Yeah. Well, let's say hi to Matt Hardy. Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
There he is. How are you, buddy?
Very good.
I was very surprised to get an email from you, I got to tell you.
Yeah, it's quite a big story these days. A lot of people are talking about it, and, Chris was on your guys' show, and it was addressed, and I was very happy that Chris stuck up for me, so to say, and just wanted to buzz you on it.
No worries. I got to start by saying, the Hardy Boys, when I was watching wrestling, on a regular basis, I mean, you guys were right up there as far as my favorites go.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we made tag team wrestling cool again back in the day.
The ladder matches and all that stuff is just insane.
Yeah, I mean, both Jeff and I, we gave the WWE everything inside our body, night in and night out.
Now, let's get right into it. Why did they let you go?
Well, as you just kind of set up the situation before, I'd found out that my girlfriend of 5 or 6 years had become involved in a relationship, which was the agenda of Adam Copeland, which is Edge. Obviously, he had some sort of agenda going into this thing. And I found out something had happened, and Amy, who was the leader, knew she got herself into a situation that she really shouldn't have, and she was kind of trying to back out, and this guy was putting the pressure on her. And there was actually, the weekend I found out about her, she had gone the whole weekend and not spoke to her, and he had just piled up messages on her phone, just real pitiful messages, just, I love you. If you're going to be with Matt and not with me, then I don't have a reason to be here, and just absurd stuff.
Wow, really?
Wait,
so just like psychotic level stuff.
Wait, so we're talking about Edge and Lita?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, and is Edge...
And Edge, who was leaving these messages once she was kind of trying to get her head right, at the end, is a guy who's married, who has a wife at home.
All right,
his second wife.
All right, so Edge has a wife at home. You were seeing Lita for 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, we'd been seeing each other serious. We'd known each other for 6 years. We'd probably been serious for four to 4.5 years.
All right, and then behind your back, she starts fooling around with Edge?
Yeah, Edge has an agenda. She was by herself on the road. He asked, can I ride with you? How about I'll take care of you?
All right, wait, we got to slow down here. So, okay, Lita's on the road.
Yeah.
And so
I'm actually out. I'm out injured at this point. I had my left knee. I had complete reconstructive surgery on my left knee, just from years of wear and tear, just being a wrestler, being with the WWE.
So it's got to be tough to begin with to be a female wrestler on the road.
Sure. And now she's on the road and she's traveling by herself because we always travel together.
Right.
And then there came a point up where this guy had been one of my closest friends for so many years, and it's like I would have trusted him with my life. At this point. And then when she was going to ride with him, I was going, well, that's cool. Because, now she'll be fine because there's a guy with her.
All right, okay, so you're at home and thinking, okay, now Edge is going to, travel with Lita. That's exactly something I would want because I know both people very well, right?
Yeah, just like the same thing. If I traveled with his wife, it would never go through my mind because that's the kind of relationship we had.
Right.
It was like a brother-type relationship.
Guys don't do that to each other, right?
No, man, that's the biggest taboo in any business, especially
exactly.
So then all of a sudden you're starting to get an idea that maybe she's fooling around on you?
Well, I just actually his wife contacted me and said there were some weird text messages
Oh, boy.
And then I'd ask about it. Nothing was going on. And like I said, she obviously knew that she had got herself into a situation she couldn't get out of. And I think she was regretful. I don't think Edge was. You know, that's the big thing there. And then once I discovered these messages from Edge that he'd called and left her all during the weekend, he'd called and left 5 or 6 messages like a psycho. And, you know, I questioned her about it. She was asked to leave the house at that point. And then, you know, I spoke to him actually after that, like, you know, what in the hell are you thinking, man? You know, like, what a piece of shit. You know, why would you do this? And he's like, oh, buddy, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I messed up. You know, you guys can still work things out, da-da-da-da-da. Then he would get off the phone right after that. And I know he'd call her and say, yeah, I know that was bad, but he's gone now. We can be together. We can be together.
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
No, I mean, this is the kind of guy we're dealing with here.
So they fooled around how many times, you think? Was it an ongoing thing, or?
It was a pretty brief thing.
All right, you know, so it was a brief thing. She's lonely on the road, and you know, unfortunately it happened. But then she realized she made a mistake?
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, by this point, it was obviously too late, you know, because all this stuff had gone on. And then I'm making my return. I'm rehabbing. I've been busting my ass for 6 months to get back to the company, to the WWE, the company I love, the company I've given everything for. And, you know, I have a couple of appearances here and there. Then these appearances start, you know, they get canceled. And the reason why is they're worried because of a physical confrontation, obviously, between me and Edge. You know, because obviously this guy wants to do anything he can not to face me, and he still does.
And so and he's still married, and now he wants Lita?
Yeah.
But how does Edge have that kind of pull in the company that if they don't want some kind of problems between you two to get you out of the picture?
Well, I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if he really does have that pull, but it's just like he was on TV. You know, he was in the midst of having a lot done with him. You know, he was in the midst of a push. And she's been on TV as well. I'm just the odd man out because I've been sitting at home for 6 months.
Right.
You know, so then once the story starts breaking, and another thing, maybe, you know, I was so outraged when I heard all this. Maybe I didn't handle everything perfectly right because, you know, once people start talking about this story, I went ahead and defended myself. You know, I went ahead and let people know, like, this was the situation, and, you know, it's a fucked up situation all the way around, you know, but I'm not the bad guy in it, and this is what happened. You know, and I'm not ashamed of doing that because I wasn't going to look like the bad guy in such a terrible situation.
All right, so you don't want to get back to with Lita at all?
Right now, I speak with her on a social level, and that's pretty much where it is.
And you're really pissed off that she cheated on you, obviously. And what would you do to Edge if you saw him?
I probably shouldn't say that on the air.
So you're still beyond angry, and he was one of your better friends in the in the company, right?
Beyond anger. And then, you know, just with the WWE, you know, it came to a point where it was just, I think, just like Chris said, it was real bad business because I'm the guy that was the odd man out. I was sitting at home, and the easy way to get out of this situation without having a confrontation was to release me and let my deal run out.
Can you imagine, Anthony? You leave the company because you got an injury. You got your chick that's still in the company. And you're at home just rehabbing, and you have nothing to do with it. She ends up cheating on you, and now the company releases you because that's the easy way to do it.
Insult to injury, man. Literally.
You know, and it's just brutal on so many levels. And, you know, if they were upset with me addressing the situation, or if they were worried about a physical confrontation, if they would have sat the three of us down and...
Well, what do you mean by address the situation? What did you say about this publicly?
I mean, I just cleared up the situation. I just said, well, this is what's happened. Once word started, I mean, dude, we're celebrities. We're in the public eye, and this situation was going to get out anyway. You know what I'm saying? As far as like on the internet and whatnot. And when this situation was addressed, well, this is, you know, there was never a problem between Lita and I at all. Zero problems the whole time during the relationship. So people didn't turn into a situation like, oh, well, Matt was abusive towards her, or Matt was this, or Matt was that. No, there was no problems at all.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You understand?
Yeah, I do understand that.
You know, I didn't want that to come out. Well, you know, if the situation comes out and they say, well, Lita and Edge are together, and then people say, well, why is that? You know, did Matt beat her? Was he mean to her? Was this? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, because it was well known you were seeing her, obviously. So it wasn't it wasn't a private thing.
We were a poster couple of the WWE because we'd been together so long.
Right.
You know, our relationship was great because, like I said, from day one there had been zero problems, less than zero.
So it seems obvious to me that you pretty much threatened Edge over this whole situation, and Vince, you know, decided this is how he's going to handle it because he doesn't want any confrontations, I guess, right?
Well, I guess too. Also, there was.
But who would blame you? I mean, every guy out there is probably nodding at the radio, going, "Of course, I'm going to, defend myself in a situation like this."
Absolutely. I mean, you can even look at the locker room. Just like Jericho was on your show, there's a ton of guys who just think this is absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and just even for running a locker room, what does that say to the rest of your locker room if this situation happens to one of your most loyal employees is sitting at home hurt, and there's a situation where his girlfriend and one of his better friends get involved in a relationship, and this guy, instead of getting to come back to work, ends up getting released.
Make you paranoid.
And two, there was a couple other things, like there was one time Edge was here in Fayetteville, and then on the way to Columbia, South Carolina, I think it happened in Columbia, I'm not exactly sure where it happened, his tires were slashed on his rental car. And for some reason, I got the blame for that, although I was 200 miles away at home.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if that were fans or whoever it was. I mean, there's a lot of people that hate this guy, especially coming off this situation. Like you said before, that's just like something that guys do not do.
I mean, you're breaking the guy code, man. I mean, that's crazy.
Yep.
One of your best friends banging your chick. That just should never happen.
I mean, and this guy too. Once again, I spoke to his wife a lot. He was just terribly, just so mentally abusive to his wife. It was just brutal too. I mean, she's a real sweet girl too, and he just put her through the ringer. And like I said, he's 30 years old. This is the second time he's been married, getting ready to be over. I mean, just that pretty much says it right there. What the quality of this guy is.
So you think he's separated from his wife right now?
They're in the process of getting a divorce, I would say, right now.
And he still wants Lita? He's still working that angle?
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's still trying to work it. I think she's caught on to his game by this point, but yeah, he's definitely still trying to work it.
Dude, did you completely blow up at her? Because that's like...
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, how could you not? I mean...
Of course.
I've been the most driving force in her career anyway. Like, when she started, it was with myself and my brother, Jeff Hardy, and, pretty much everything she learned from starting in the WWE coming through was through me, And
well, you guys, it's obvious. That's when I was watching a lot. You guys brought her up into the whole business and made her as what she is today. So,
and I mean, it was very once again, you said this whole situation, which is a real bullshit situation. Like when you watch, Raw from MSG. I mean, they, people in New York, they're the barometer of what wrestling is all about, especially in the WWE.
Yeah.
And when you sit there and you watch 20,000 people chant, you screwed Matt and we want Matt. I mean, that's a message. That says something. That says what those people believe.
And Vince hasn't said anything to you?
No. I mean, I haven't been, since I was notified of my release, I hadn't heard of anything from the company right now.
They haven't even contacted you.
And what was the excuse for the release? They had to give you something, no?
It was not very much. We're going to look at some other guys.
Jeez, man. And do you think you could wrestle? You think you could wrestle like you were wrestling in the WWE?
Oh, even better than that.
So they can't use the excuse that you're a weaker product.
No, I mean, right now I'm healthier than I've ever been. I'm in the best shape I've ever been. I have more to offer to the wrestling business right now than I ever have before. And that we also have two branches. We have Raw and SmackDown. And if I would have went to SmackDown, and Lita and Edge would have been on Raw, there'd never been a problem one.
Yeah, it's like two separate camps, right?
Yeah, you
don't
never
even bump into each other
a couple times.
Yeah, but it sounds like Vince is really, really scared that there's going to be some crazy physical confrontation. I say let it happen.
Yeah, right.
Bring it on!
Put that in the goddamn ring.
Yeah, screw the, quote, fake stuff. Get a cage match with you two
with
in
you
it.
two kicking each other's ass.
Edge in a UFC match.
Oh, my God, pay-per-view.
Ultimate fighting.
I will tell you this, too. Like, I even got to the point where right before I was notified of my release that I'd kind of come, especially the first 2 or 3 weeks, man. As you can imagine, it was like temporary insanity. I was just a maniac.
You don't have to tell Anthony and I about that stuff.
I guess you guys know temporary insanity good.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, I got to the point where I'd cooled down. Like I said, I could be on a social level with Lita, even though I wasn't appreciative any of what she did, obviously.
Of course.
But I would have got to a point where I could have went to SmackDown and I would have avoided all conflict with him and just went ahead about, daily life as it was.
Yeah, be professional, do your job, and then be pissed off when you're done. Yep.
Unfortunately,
instead of sitting me down and just saying, okay, can you do this, or will you do this, or is there going to be an altercation here? It was just such a cheap way out of just like giving me my release and like, okay, well, we're done with it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I mean, I love the WWE, and Vince McMahon has been great to me over all the years. it just, I hate it ended on such a sour note. It was just a poor way to end things.
Well, you know, I'm an outsider, but we have relationships with a lot of you guys, and we've done a lot for the WWE, WWF, all that crap. And it seems like a lot of people leave on a bad note. Over and over again, it just seems like, you know, people leave on a bad note. I don't really understand that.
I mean, like, for this one, there should have been no reason for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Vince looks at it as a business, and unfortunately, he doesn't really care about the personal crap, and he probably, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, yeah,
you're
right.
Right now, Edge has more of a push because you were rehabbing and out of the business, and Lita has more of a push because they're on TV every week still.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of really looking at the situation, just went, he's more popular at this moment, so it's so much easier just to release Matt Hardy, which is, in my opinion, a huge shame.
Absolutely, it sure is. I mean, and that's how it is, especially like you said, you don't want to deal with the social problems or whatever, but then once again, you look at that crowd, and if you're going to have Edge and you're going to have Lita out there week in and week out, and people are chanting, we want Matt, and you screw Matt, and they demand Matt because it's such a bullshit situation that I was the victim in.
Hey, Matt, when did you really know that she was effing on you? What was the one thing where you went, oh, my God, where you felt it in the pit of your stomach?
Honestly, it wasn't until I got those phone messages. From Edge. That was the only proof positive because.
Wait, what do you mean by the phone messages? That from her machine?
No, from her cell phone, where he'd left all these phone messages just saying like, you know, oh, if I can't be with you, then you know I can't sleep at night, and please don't be with Matt, and da da da.
And how'd you get those messages?
I just pulled them off her phone.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You got to obviously because you had your suspicions.
Yeah, that was the only. But you know what? I've never done that. You know, if I would have been that kind, our relationship was always so great that we never even thought twice about that with each other. You know, she was out for 16 months with a broken neck, man, and I was on the road. I never compromised her integrity at all because our relationship was so cool just because we were like best friends.
What gave you the suspicions in the first place?
That you wanted to check her cell phone.
Yeah, okay, you're right. But just because we had went through a couple of days where she just said, like, you know, I know, she said, my head's not where it needs to be, and I need to figure things out, and I know I'm messing up, and I was just like, you know, what is this all about? I've never heard this from you.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. She'd actually told him that she didn't want to speak to him anymore because she wanted to get her head right because she knew she was screwing up. But by the time she was going to get her head right, it was too late because I'd already heard these messages from her.
Matt, I'm from the school of one screw up and it's over, Johnny.
Right.
It's like, you know, you can't, you just can never go back and not think, first of all, that it's going to happen again, and just not get that deceit out of your head.
It's I'll tell you what, man, it's just terrible because it takes a really long time to have something good, but it only takes a very short time to destroy it.
That's it. Oh, God damn, that is rough. What a screw job, Jesus.
So that's what's really bad. You know, it's like in the course of just a few weeks, I lost my dream girl and my dream job, just both over bullshit reasons. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So,
well, if it's any consolation, Opie and Jimmy are back together as friends.
Cool, man. I'll tell you what, that definitely makes my day. It puts a smile on my face for the day.
So, what do you want to happen?
I don't. That's a good question. That's a very good question.
It seems like has it split the league? I mean, it seems like there's more people that are supporting you as well, besides Chris Jericho, right?
Oh, no question, yeah.
Man.
No question, more people supporting me.
And how?
I mean, there's nobody that supports him. There's nobody that can sit behind him and support him.
Yeah. Hey, did you and Lita make any tapes or anything in the bedroom?
There might be a few floating around.
That's always
Sex
a good way to get back.
Yeah, if you got one of those sex tapes, release it. We could.
You never know what'll pop up.
We could host it on one of our websites. No problem for you.
Oh, thank you. That's
no problem whatsoever.
Jesus Christ.
But I guess I'm at a point right now. Thinking ahead, there are other places to wrestle. If you can't wrestle in the WWE, the WWE is by far the biggest place and best place to wrestle. And once again, man, I love the WWE, and I have nothing but good things to say about my entire experience there. I just really hate how it ended, and I think things should have ended differently, is what I would say. But there's definitely other places to wrestle. My brother, Jeff Hardy, actually just watched him last night. He was on TNA. They have a little wrestling show as well. They had a pay-per-view, and he enjoys what he does down there. And there's several places across the world. And
why is he out of the league, by the way?
He's been out for a couple years now. Just he was very, very burnt out with the WWE schedule, and there were a couple things that he just really couldn't continue to do while wrestling with the WWE. So right now he's at a deal where he only works 2 or 3 days every couple of weeks, so he loves that schedule. He just likes to stay at home all day.
Wow, man. And you really want to just beat the hell out of Edge, huh?
Well, who wouldn't?
He's my least favorite person in the world. I would definitely say that.
And it would get ugly if you saw him on the street.
It wouldn't be pretty.
But that just shows his character, though.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shows.
I mean, you know.
Well, once again, like I said, man, and
to cheat with your...
He'd only been married for 3 months, like when this went down. He just got married.
Are you kidding me? He just got married.
He just got married on his second marriage.
To cheat with your best friend's girl, that's nuts.
And and he'd confessed to cheating on both his wives.
Jesus.
I mean, this guy's just a mess. I mean, this guy recently too, like even, he was on Off the Record, a Canadian TV show. He was an admitted steroid user on there. Just said that he'd used them before, and that's why they were illegal. This guy also, when they were flying back overseas, there was one of the diva girls that had a drink poured on her. This was the guy that did that. I mean, he's done a ton of just terrible things as far as that goes.
Does he have a lot of friends?
His true quality.
Does he have a lot of friends in the WWE?
No, not now.
Wow. God.
And even if somebody is, even if someone is social with him, I mean, really, what can you think about a person that has those characteristics?
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you got screwed, bro.
Yep. That's for sure.
So, I mean, right now, man, I'm sitting here. I guess, now is the time to promote myself, for me to promote Matt Hardy.
Well, we got a huge audience that loves wrestling. You want them to chant anything out every time they say Lita?
Yeah, I mean, I think every time they see Lita or Edge, they should chant, "We want Matt, you screwed Matt." I mean, it's just a constant reminder. It's one thing, like the whole thing with Bret Hart and the Montreal Screwjob, just how they would, especially the Canadians and even here in the States, they would never stop chanting, "You screwed Bret, you screwed Bret." It was just nice how they would never let the WWE forget that.
Well, that's some of the best video ever when Bret Hart spit on Vince McMahon.
Ooh. Yeah,
that was just amazing.
Yep.
And then Vince McMahon, what was it? They were filming some kind of documentary on the WWF when all that went down, and then they had this thing happen with Bret Hart. Too long to go into. Well, basically he was retiring, and they wanted him to retire as a champion in front of his hometown country, in front of his country in Canada. Right. And at the last minute, Vince set up a different storyline, didn't tell Bret Hart, and gave the championship to Triple H, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It was Shawn Michaels, actually.
Shawn Michaels, I'm sorry. Yeah. And so Bret Hart realized he got a major screw job in front of his hometown fans up there in Canada, looked at Vince and went, "Oh, my God, after all I did for you, you screwed me." Spits in his face. It had nothing to do with the storyline. And then they turned off the cameras as they went backstage to talk about this. And all you see is Vince coming out of the locker room staggering, because I guess Bret Hart popped him really hard.
Staggering with a shiner.
It is some of the best video I've ever seen.
Very funny.
That whole documentary on that thing.
Yeah, it was a big deal, and you got it. You're pretty accurate there in your description.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and rumor has it, there was a huge confrontation that unfortunately the cameras weren't rolling for, and Bret Hart, gave Vince a couple really, really big shots to the head, and he's staggering down the hall afterwards. That's when they turned the cameras back on.
Yeah.
So, all right, Matt, I appreciate your honesty, man.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
I don't know coming on our show if it's actually going to help you, but at least you get your side of the story out there.
Well, it's just I guess that's where I'm at right now. I mean, if I have to worry about Matt Hardy, then I have to worry about Matt Hardy.
Right.
It's just the story is what it is, man. There's no denying it.
Mm-hmm. You want to? Have you been banging other broads since Lita now?
Well, I've just made the most of the time I have.
Yeah, you got to get back on the horse, my friend.
I'll just leave it at that. I've made the most of the time I have.
There you go.
I'd imagine you're fucking like a rabbit. Who are you kidding, man?
That's what you got to do, my friend.
Yeah, just going to buzz, too. Like, actually, there's a company who has contacted me who's very interested in sitting down with myself and my brother, and I'm going to really sit down and tell this story from A to Z, and then plus we're going to sit back and talk about our whole career, and it's going to be a really big deal. It's going to be a big DVD set, and it's going to be available in some different markets in a mainstream way. So it's going to be a very interesting thing. I've got that project coming up in a couple of weeks, and there's a ton of people that have contacted me all over about doing things, and who knows?
The stuff you guys did in the ring was just amazing. It was just amazing.
It brought the tag team to a whole nother level.
I mean, jumping from the top of those ladders, and I mean, all that stuff.
No one was doing that.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was definitely.
I remember. I think it was WrestleMania when we went, Anthony, in Sacramento.
No, it was Anaheim.
Anaheim. We were basically invited by the WWF. It was WWF at the time, and Anthony and I, we were pretty much in the second or third row.
Yeah, it's insane.
And that was the match where you guys somersaulted off the ladders.
Yeah,
but these ladders were extremely high, not just a basic ladder. They were like, I don't know, 15, 17 feet up, and you somersault not into the ring, but outside the ring. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes, that was that was my brother Jeff did a real big dive on the aisle. I'm sure it's probably the one you're talking about. But triple ladder match. It was a huge deal.
But that's when I really truly had respect for what you guys do, because I remember at the time looking at Jim Ross, who was announcing the match. And the look on his face, like, I can't believe he just did that.
That's what we were doing, too. We were going, God, we can't believe we just did that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of times you guys make this stuff up as you go. And I just remember the faces of the people that see this stuff every day. So they're kind of jaded. And I saw the looks on their faces like, did they just do what we just saw? And they weren't saying that on the air to try to really push it over the top. This was just very natural reactions, and the cameras didn't capture that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's when I realized, man, these guys are nuts.
Yeah, I mean, the first time that we did, that was the first time that we ever really did a match like that, especially with three teams, and just everybody was watching in awe, because it was just like, oh my God, what are these guys going to do next? Are they going to, they really thought we were going to kill each other out there, and we almost did kill each other.
Yeah, let's go to Schwiggy real fast. Schwiggy.
Hey, Matt, how you guys doing today?
What's up?
Hey, Matt, here's your chance, man. Let's shoot back on Triple H after his comment.
What did Triple H say? Because he's
Triple H, after he was fired, Triple H was heard backstage saying no big deal. He never drew any money anyhow. So Matt, here's your chance to shoot back, and please tell the world whatever all the smarks know what it's really like there with him controlling everything.
Well, all I can say, like, I'd heard that comment. If I don't know if he truly said it or not, but I mean, if that is the comment that he said, I mean, I think it's just a pretty petty comment. I mean, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy were the Hardy Boys, the tag team, and like in the amount of time we were together as a tag team, no other tag team has sold that much merchandise. And there's no denying the drawing power that Jeff and I had together. I mean, we brought a whole new demographic into the WWE and the wrestling business. I mean, for every, we had a T-shirt constantly, we had merchandise constantly, and we sold it like crazy. And we were a draw. I mean, there were people, young girls especially, that paid to see Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. I mean, so right there, you can already say that that I have made money for the company. And then even as a singles wrestler, when I was doing Matt Hardy version 1, the Sensei of Mattitude, I mean, there was a point where I was the hottest thing on SmackDown, especially when I was doing that Cruiserweight title run.
Sensei of Mattitude.
Yeah. And then even, like, I wasn't given the ultimate opportunity to, like, become a top-level draw, but even with what I was given, I made the most of it, and there were still people that paid to see me, and I always had merchandise. And
will you shoot on him, though, about the way... Will you shoot on him about the way he just controls the backstage, being married to Stephanie?
Does he really?
Matt, what's going on about how he's promoting himself over Batista, how he does it over all the other champs, just so he can get his belt back. I mean, come on, the whole show revolves around him, and it really shouldn't be that way.
Well, I mean,
and Jericho wouldn't say it last week when he was on, but that's the way it should be.
Wait, Shuggy, you're saying because Triple H is married to Vince McMahon's daughter that he's really, really controlling stuff?
Oh, without a doubt. He controls almost everything that goes on. If you watch the show, whenever a new champ is crowned, Booking 101 says that the new champ should be out to promote himself above all others. He should be made as the champion, everyone else is the challenger. The way it's been over the last few champions, interim champions, it's been all about Triple H and how he's going to get his belt back. And it's so obvious because the next pay-per-view that's coming up, it's being billed as Triple H Batista 2. And Triple H has all the camera time. Now, granted, Batista's not the best on the mic, but Triple H, not last week, the following week, opened the show with a 20-minute promo saying about how great he was. And you don't do that. I mean, he's stroking his own ego. And Matt, I know you probably will never do it because I know you want to go back to work. You probably eventually want to get back there. But that's the way it is.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's any secret. I mean, the show revolves around Triple H. But, one thing that you do say, I think, like, when you have Benoit and Batista as champions, I really think you do need to focus on them as being the most important thing on the show.
All right. Let's take one more call, then we got to move on here. Jeff in Philly, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Matt.
Hey, man. Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you. I just love how you've ruined the half hour of this show. This is horrible radio.
Thank you.
Horrible radio.
I'm glad you enjoyed it that much.
I totally disagree because it's you don't have to like wrestling to to get into this this subject.
Appreciate real life drama.
No
Jesus
shit.
Christ, this stuff the stuff that's being described as you know, Matt's situation, the situation with Triple H being married to the boss's daughter and that having an influence over what goes on, it blows away any of the written storylines in wrestling.
Believe me, you can't write stuff this good.
No, this is the stuff, the real life drama that's going on behind the scenes. Because somebody's saying, this guy Joe from South Jersey is going, for God's sake, it's not real. No, we're talking about the real stuff, not the storylines that are happening in wrestling, you asshole.
People aren't stupid enough to think that this is a storyline.
They think we're discussing like a wrestling storyline. No, this is the behind-the-scenes stuff that's really happening.
This is he was going out with Lita for 5 years. He's home. Recovering from an injury, and his quote, one of his best friends or a friend on the road is banging his chick.
Yeah, that's
not a storyline.
This guy doesn't realize we're talking about real life here. Joe Wagner from South Jersey, you fucking tool. Jesus, man.
How'd that guy get on?
Exactly.
All right, Matt.
All right, well, cool. Well, definitely was nice chatting with you guys.
Yeah, Matt, keep us updated, man. Let us know what's going on.
I most certainly will. I'll keep you updated. You never know what turn this huge story is going to take next. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable that this is my life.
All right, Matt.
And I just wanted to say, man, just as a quick plug too, if anybody out there is interested in contacting Matt Hardy about doing whatever, my email address is angelicdiablo@earthlink.net.
I'm sure you're going to be very glad you gave that out over the air.
Believe me, that's not my main one. That's my business.
Okay, good.
It's all good.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
And if you got any updates, you call us first, okay?
I will. Okay, man.
All right, there he goes, Matt Hardy, formerly of the WWE.
Jeez.
Wow, but do people think we were just discussing a storyline?
Yeah, this guy, a couple of guys think that's like, for God's sake, someone tell Schwoogie it's not real. No, we're not discussing wrestling storylines here, you jackass, like it's real. What we're talking about is what's really happening to these people behind the scenes. That's the interesting stuff. Not the storyline, ass.
Like sand through the hourglass, so is the O&A virus.
Let's say hi to Dragon Wagon.
Yeah, guys, you totally.
What? What? You broke up.
We
can't hear you. Sir?
Totally offended me today.
We totally.
I was an over-the-road truck driver, and this nudity thing that all I'm talking about is ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
The what thing, sir?
Could you take an antihistamine before you call next time, clog-nosed idiot?
You guys are disgusting. I mean, I turned it on. I'm calling XM and complaining about this channel. That's all it is to it.
Really?
Yeah.
What don't you like about the channel?
Well, you guys are hacks. You're would-be Howard Stern. I mean, it's indecent. It's immoral what you're talking about.
You know what you should do, sir? Right after you call XM, you should drink a fifth of Old Grandad and then drunk drive into a schoolyard. No one cares about you, or if you're offended, block the channel, stupid. It's an XL channel. You can block it. That's why XM has that.
You need to F you. That's what you need to do, okay? I'm hanging up.
Good. Hang up, cancel XM, and drop dead.
Let's not go that far.
All right, don't cancel. don't cancel XM.
Go to listen to XM Kids or something.
Yeah, go. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say in front of Eric Logan.
And this guy, now he's listening to himself. He'll be listening.
Listen, I'm going to Sirius Radio.
Good. Go to Sirius Radio. There's a fucking dog for the thing. They stink. You're going to have to drive a truck to have Sirius. Throw it in the back of the truck, you fucking hick. Die!
See, get in front of me and I can run you over.
Why don't you fucking blow your nose before you call a national radio show, you crank-doing jerk-off?
Now he's listening to himself.
Of course he is.
He'll be listening.
Of course he will.
He'll be listening.
He'll call tomorrow.
And he doesn't even have the balls to say fuck you. We're uncensored, pal. You can say fuck you.
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in that? You're a liar and you're a failure.
No, I'm not a failure.
Yes, you are.
I'm an over-the-road truck driver.
Why don't you have your fucking sinuses fixed?
I'm an over-the-road truck driver.
Yeah, all truck drivers are over the road, stupid. They don't go through lawns and pools. You redundant shithead. I didn't hear you, sir. I'm doing drugs and surviving an incest experience.
Why don't you hang it up?
Breaker, but a dragon wagon.
Is that his name? Dragon Wagon?
Dragon wagon, you got your ears on. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, you sounded like you had more brains on the radio. We've got a long and a short time to get there.
Hold on, sir. Wait, so is your name really, dude? Is your name really Dragon Wagon? You're a grown man with a name that rhymes.
Hey, slow down with the weird grown-up names.
Yeah, that's a childhood name. At least it doesn't rhyme. It's not Mopey Opie. It's Mopey Opie, Slim Jim, and whatever the fuck rhymes with Anthony. I can't think of anything.
Schmanthony.
You don't understand. I'm out here busting my ass for you people to be doing your dumb radio show.
How are you busting your ass for us, stupid? You're busting your ass to put food on your fat wife's table. We have nothing to do with it.
No, you're the type that voted for George Bush, aren't you? You're the type that...
No, sir, I don't vote. I talk a lot of shit, and then I sit home on Election Day. That's the beauty of me.
But you're the reason the fuel prices are so high in this country driving...
I'm the reason, you motherfucker! You drive a truck! I have a Saturn. I cruise prostitutes in Manhattan.
Your food has to get there.
You have fucking 80 gallons of fuel in your vehicle. I go a month on a gallon of gas. 43rd Street to 15th Street. Circle for 4 hours, back home.
Opie and Anthony, the virus is spreading.
April is Jazz Appreciation Month, and Watercolors is celebrating with live concerts from some of our Sea Jazz friends. Join Watercolors Friday, April 29th at 8 p.m. Ocean East, 5 p.m. Ocean West for a special contemporary jazz treat. 4 great musicians join as one. Bob James, Nathan East, Harvey Mason, and Larry Carlton.
We are foreplay, and it's great to be here in D.C. at XM Satellite Radio.
Live from the XM Performance Theater. Celebrate Jazz Appreciation Month with Watercolors, XM 71.
Laugh at the hilarity.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
I don't care if you like us. We don't like you.
High Voltage is an XL channel which may include explicit language.
And guess what? I don't care. I don't care.
Channel blocking is available by contacting XM Listener Care at 1-800-XM-RADIO.
Do you understand me? I don't care about anything to do with you.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
XM 202.
Did you just say that Elton John's getting married?
That's what I'm reading.
Oh,
is this a just in?
Breaking news, Elton John's going to marry.
From Reuters. British pop star Elton John intends to marry his long-term partner, David Furnish, sometime this year or in 2006, his publicist said on Monday. They want to hold a civil partnership in Windsor, near London, in mid-December. Although publicist Gary Farrow said John has added it could also take place sometime next year. One of John's main motivations for going ahead with the ceremony was financial. Civil partnerships between gay couples will be allowed in Britain from December 5th and will give partners tax breaks available to married couples. There you go.
Like the guy has to worry about money on any level?
I guess.
Look, man, I don't know. I just think there should be another term. I'm all for that thing.
That thing, the gays getting together. Big issue, Opie.
I'm all for the gays getting together, but I just think it needs to be called something different. Getting what? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Go ahead.
Stop with the semantics.
And still playing with his Jimmy versus Opie soundboard.
Jimmy soundboard. Jimmy Opie soundboard.
I don't know.
Marriage, yeah, you think it should be something else?
Well, marriage is, has just been known for so long, a man and a woman getting together.
I think Connecticut just did that, though. They came in and said that it's a civil partnership. They're not calling it marriage, but they're giving them the rights and benefits available to married couples, but they're not calling it marriage, which seems to be the problem like Bush has with it. His biggest thing is the fact that marriage is sacred and it's between a man and a woman as God intended, blah, blah, blah. So his whole problem was the fact that he's trying to protect marriage
between a man and a woman. So now they call it something else.
They should just call it something else. That's
Mm.
all. You're committed to
men.
each other, and you get the benefits of being committed to someone else. But
Yeah.
that's where, I don't know, in my head, like just a flare goes off or something. Like
Yeah.
marriage is just, I don't know.
You think marriage is, man, woman kind of thing. Two men going on their honeymoon after a marriage. Yeah.
Ooh, tell me more, Anthony.
Yeah. Come on. One carries the other one over the door threshold. Oh. Two hairy chests in bed.
One's in the bathroom getting his special lingerie on.
The other one's in bed on his side, hand on hip, looking at the door, waiting for it to open up.
To see what kind of treat they have for
Oh.
him tonight.
Door opens up and he goes,
Oh, Billy.
Oh, you're so fucking hot.
His friends got together and threw him a bridal shower to give him that nice
Oh.
little piece of
One gets the bridal shower, the other
lingerie.
gets the bachelor party.
Right.
Go to the male strip club.
Ugh.
Oh,
Can you just imagine Elton John having sex to begin
no!
with? On any level.
Ugh. Does he got to rip the wig off and put it on the night table? The completely bald-headed Elton laying in bed.
I don't think he's completely bald. I think
You
he
don't
has
think?
one of those rim
Horseshoe?
things. Yeah,
He's
the
got
horseshoe.
the horseshoe going around the back of his head?
I think he has one of those horseshoes that starts at the sideburns.
Yeah.
Way low. And just goes,
And just
all the way
goes around the back.
Yeah.
And he puts the wig on.
Ugh. Well, good luck to you.
Good
Have
luck
fun.
to you, Elton.
Have fun with that one.
Elton John.
All right. Pervs, Anthony. Flashers on the subway.
Are you saying something by that segue? Saying that gay men are
no,
perverse?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just segging into another sex thing, I guess.
Here's the latest thing, by the way. You won't be hearing any more sound clips from the argument.
All right.
Because this wasn't plugged in, and the laptop battery has just gone dead.
Oh, really?
It is. Yeah.
Ugh.
So now the laptop battery is dead or something. It said low battery warning and went dead.
All right, well, Mars is coming in to take a look.
It said low battery and then shut off.
All right.
So good luck to you.
They've been working on your laptop all morning long.
Yeah. Well.
Anthony, flashers in the subway. Total complaints since January, 45.
45 complaints on the subway since January.
Yeah, and 13 arrests.
Mm-hmm.
Call them subterranean sleaze bags about once every 2 days. Once every 2 days. Perverts expose themselves in the New York City subway system, according to police. Since January, police have received 45 complaints of public lewdness in the city's subway system. There have been 13 arrests for public lewdness or the exposure of private parts. Okay. Many incidents of public lewdness or flashing go unreported, Anthony.
Really?
Unreported. But the numbers are in sync with complaints the Post received from red-faced strap hangers who have seen plenty of skin in the subways.
Skin?
This is where it gets good. Here's a girl talking. I was waiting for the G train, and a man, probably about 50, across the tracks was fondling his, John Thomas, said Kirsten. Fairly appalling, if you ask me. Got to love New York. So this woman probably just wants to get home to her stupid, tiny little apartment, waiting for the subway, and there's a guy on the other side of the track.
On the other side?
Just jacking it.
Just cranking. Probably staring right at her. Like a monkey.
Staring because there's a track in between them.
Yeah. Nothing's going to happen to him. No one's going to jump down there.
Take a look at me, honey.
Yeah, look at this, honey.
I got to tell you, if she's a grown woman and this is happening, and like I told you, he's not taking it to the next level and trying to pounce on her or any of that sick shit, I think you got to think as a woman it's just silly and really kind of funny in your head to see something like this. I mean, are you so disturbed that's going to affect you mentally, you think?
Some people would say that, yeah, it's affecting me mentally. I now have nightmares and blah, blah, blah. You know what it is? This is the fundamental difference between men and women and why there are differences and the fact that you can't get around them. We love to think that we're all equal and men and women should all have the same, I don't know, should be the same for some reason. But it's not, because if you're standing on the tracks and you look across the tracks and some girl, doesn't have to be a beautiful girl, you know, can't be some disgusting mess, but doesn't have to be like a model, could just be a girl standing across the way, she lifts up her skirt and just starts fingering herself. Are you going to go, oh, it's appalling, this is a hard...
Oh, I'm gonna miss my subway.
Right!
Your train could come and go, and you would hope she's still there when the train leaves.
Right.
Because you're going to stand there and go, holy shit, that girl's diddling herself. You'll call your friends.
She could be a 4, and you're still
Right,
going
you're
to take
still
a walk.
watching.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, you know.
You'll be late for dinner.
Yep.
You don't care. You'll be late for work.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go into work and come up with some stupid excuse why you're late.
That is the fundamental difference. And that comes into play in the workplace and every other aspect of our lives as men and women. This basic thing comes into play everywhere. So we will never be on equal footing as men and women.
But why is it always just guys jacking it in public?
It's what we do.
You never hear about the women doing this.
Because they don't. Again, there's that difference. For some reason, guys feel compelled to pull it out and start jacking it.
All right. Well, this girl, Rishma, had a similar experience on the N train, Anthony. When it stopped at Times Square... Hold on a minute. I don't even need this clip today, but what the hell. When it stopped at Times Square, a large man came to the corner of the door, still standing outside, stared directly at me, and opened up his jacket to reveal a full erection.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
Oh, could you imagine? So the door opens. You know, when you're on the subway, you're waiting for that door to close. Subway takes off, obviously. Well, this guy steps up to the open door, just opens up his coat to show you a full erection.
That's
Come on.
great.
You have to be laughing inside, as long as the guy's not touching you or trying to do anything.
No threats there. You know,
Right.
he's on the other side of the door. You're leaving. It's got to just be, that's a dick, all right.
In full throbbing erection. I let out a loud gasp, and instantly everyone in the train turned to me as if I was crazy, completely missing the mad flasher at the door. I was brought to tears.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that.
Brought to tears?
I was brought to tears.
By laughing or by being crazed with... That sounds like she was so upset.
She was so upset by the flasher that she was brought to tears.
Get over it.
As this was my first experience with a flasher.
Jesus.
I hate to tell... It's just... it's just silly.
Again, you're in a train. A woman comes to the door.
I'm talking... There's no kids around, okay? There's... the guy isn't trying to make a move on you or trying to pounce you or try to follow you home.
He just wants you to see him naked.
Right. It just, in my mind, seems like it's just really silly to see.
It's hysterically funny. And the train door closes and some guy with a rod just opens his coat.
Like, look at me.
Look at me. Look at me. I've got a rod. If you saw a chick open her coat up completely naked, all obviously aroused, that'd be great. You'd hit that stop the train button.
You're not going to be... Yeah, exactly.
You know,
You're not going to be brought to tears.
No.
The Post even received a complaint about an MTA employee. A man identifying himself as Bob Tutsky said he saw a conductor masturbating while whistling, "Don't worry, be happy."
The guy he's a conductor?
Yeah, on one of these subways. And he's just jacking it and whistling this song, "Don't worry, be happy."
Oh. Now that's funny.
It's beyond funny. It's beyond funny.
Going up and down the train aisle, taking tickets?
Yeah.
Tickets, please. Excuse me, are you... Yes, I am. Tickets. All right. Be happy.
The crimes have spiked in recent years, but are still grossly underreported, says Anthony.
Grossly.
It's more of a transit thing, said a Greenwich Village officer. It doesn't happen on the street as much. The subways are more of an anonymous environment. They can do it where it's crowded, and they can leave without being identified.
That's it.
So there you go.
I don't get the whole thing about, like, wanting people to see you naked or aroused or something like that. Like, people have such strange things that get them off.
That's...
You know, what is it about having a rod under your coat and then, like, showing someone right before they roll away?
And I guess, are you looking for some kind of reaction from the girl?
Maybe that's it. And then what does that do? Are you able to remember that and jack off thinking about it? Like,
I don't get it.
Let's go to Kirsten in Boston. Kirsten,
Hey, guys.
how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
How about your Red Sox, huh?
How about them, baby?
Thugs. What a bunch of thugs with their brawling.
I love it. Well, you gotta love Boston.
Is the whole city going out to see Fever pitch?
Oh.
Probably. Not me, though.
All right.
But I had to tell you, it's happening in Boston as well. As far as the tea, same thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting on last summer. It's really hot, of course. There's no air conditioning or anything. I have like a little summer dress. No big deal. I'm just standing there waiting to get on. I get on. I swear to God, this man had to be somebody's grandfather. He's like 60 years old. And he had this long coat on, so immediately I'm going, oh, my God, keep your head down, because, you know, you don't want to ever make eye contact, even here in Boston. I look up briefly, and he's got this awful, nasty grin on and opens up the coat with his skinny little nasty skin hanging off him in the smallest rod I've ever seen in my life. And looks at me like, hey, look at this.
Get some.
And I looked at him, I go, if I were you, I would close that because that's nothing for me to look at.
And Kirsten,
just walked on the train.
And you weren't brought to tears, right? You got to be.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
Weren't you kind of laughing inside like that is one of the silliest things I've ever seen?
I was laughing outside, honey. I was looking at him like, oh, okay, that did a lot for me. You're pathetic. And any woman that says, oh, I just brought to tears, is just what gives women a bad name.
Yeah, all right.
That's all I had to share because it was the funniest. I told everybody I knew, I'm like, I saw the ugliest penis today. I saw old man penis.
What is it about the old guys, too, that like doing
I
this?
know. And I'm thinking this is somebody's grandfather. And I mean, like, I'm a decent-looking girl, but I don't expect that. And I saw the coat, and I'm going, oh, shit, keep your head down.
Yeah, it's like a hot day, and the guy's wearing a trench coat.
Yeah, big clue, especially on the train. And then you should have seen the grin on his face. Like, hey, look at me, honey.
He knew he had a fish on the hook right there. Had you looking.
I looked right at him. I'm like, if I were you, I would close that back up there, pumpkin. That's nothing for me to be looking at.
Old man Rob.
It happens everywhere, boys. And I love you. I'm so glad you're back on. I was at Bill's Bar. Had a great time.
Oh, cool.
You guys are the best.
Oh, thanks, Kirsten.
Go Sox.
No problem.
All right,
All
go
right.
Sox.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Krista, the blind girl on Long Island. Oh, we haven't heard from her in a while.
Oh,
Krista, what's up?
I just want to. I agree with Kirsten entirely. It's just something.
Wait, why are you commenting about flashers?
She went up and actually felt a guy's rod. What is this guy doing? Oh, my goodness.
Wait, are we so desperate for phone calls today that we're going to have a blind girl comment on subway flashers?
Well, also, I just think it's a testament to the way the papers are. I mean, they're not going to interview the girl who just thinks it's silly and is cracking up over it.
Yeah, they want it to sound a lot worse than it is.
It's got to be appalling. It's got to be big news.
Yeah, I think I honestly think if you're affected by this, and I have to say again, they're not underage girls that this is happening to. They're adults, and nothing else is going on. There's no following. There's no touching.
No,
you're mentally unstable if you're not looking at that going, oh, my God, that is so freaking funny and silly.
Unfortunately, the guys that do this don't care where they're doing it or who's watching, so a lot of times there are kids, that are looking. But the adults that are looking, you just get over it.
Maybe part of you is horrified because you're convinced maybe it's going to go to the next level, I guess, if I'm trying to see all
it probably
this,
would shock you, take you by surprise, things like that. But
you're on the other side of the train track.
But when you realize the guy is truly harmless and it's over like that, you got to be laughing to yourself all the way home. Like, did I just see what I saw?
Kind of a nut is that.
All right. Well, all right. So what else you got, Krista?
Well, that's what I wanted to say. I also, one time I was on a bus and I heard an older lady kind of giggling about it. She had seen some guy flash her with his dick, and she was kind of giggling about it to her friend on the bus.
Eavesdropper.
Oh, how could she not? Her hearing is so much better than everyone else's.
That's super hearing.
That conversation wasn't even happening on your bus. It was the bus behind you.
She's amazing. Anything else in your blind life? Got a boyfriend?
Yeah, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, he's blind too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
You guys remember, huh?
Of course we do.
You remember the deal?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, thank you, Krista.
You guys rule.
All right. Wow, we're
check out.
We're really reaching today, I guess.
Why?
A blind girl is commenting on our flasher story.
Well, she told us that she heard somebody talking that they had seen a flasher. So.
All right. The other big story today is the you heard? Did you hear about this skydiver?
Yeah, this sucks. Oh.
This is either a sucks to be you or an unlucky lottery.
I don't even know how this would happen.
Yeah, we're trying to figure this one out. It doesn't make sense to me. And
Not at all.
It happened in Florida. Skydivers hit, killed by plane. A man who was skydiving in Central Florida was killed when he was struck by the wing of a plane as he descended over an airport, losing both his legs in the accident. Oof. Now, you read the first paragraph, you're thinking, okay, the guy jumps out of an airplane.
Actually, here's the first thing I thought. He's jumping out of the plane, and as he jumped, somehow where the door was situated, the way the plane was flying, that the plane's wing clipped him as he came out of the door of the plane. That's what I thought.
Okay. But he was already descending.
Yeah.
He jumped out of this plane.
He was already on his parachute. He'd already pulled the cord, and he was floating down.
Yeah, so I'm thinking another plane happened to be in the area and just, like, hit him. Which the odds of that happening are, I mean, just imagine.
Pretty slim.
So it goes on to say, Albert Wing.
Is his name Wing? Stop it.
There are so many stories where the last name, fits into the actual freaking story.
Albert Gus Wing.
What are the odds? What are the odds that his last name's Wing?
And that killed him.
Albert Wing was hit by the airplane that he had jumped from Saturday morning. Police said the skydiver had opened his parachute when the left wing struck him at about 600 feet.
Oh.
All right, so obviously if he's 600 feet from the ground, he jumped out of his plane, floating down to the ground. He's only 600 feet from the ground, and then gets hit by, it looks like the plane that he jumped out of?
It's the same plane he jumped out of, hit him, and cut his legs off.
His legs were severed at the knees, but he managed to land near an airport. Now you're floating down, you got 600 feet left, and you don't have legs.
And you don't have legs. And you land on your feet, Now you're going to land on your stumps.
His legs were severed at the knees, but he managed to land near an airport. Okay. Wing was taken to a hospital where he died of his injuries. The airplane landed safely, and police investigators observed damage to the plane's left wing. There were 14 other skydivers in the air at the time. Wow. Man, the pilot of that plane, so he's up there, he lets all 14, skydivers go.
Yeah.
And then he has to land the plane back at the airport. He just was in a panic, I guess.
He probably turned around
and saw, just these guys with their chutes open all around him.
And nails this one guy and cuts his legs off. Oh. And his name is Wing, which is the most fascinating part of that story.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
I think that's a sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you?
Yeah, I haven't figured out why yet, but it doesn't hit me as an unlucky lottery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Chris in Memphis.
Hey, mega dittos, guys. You guys are sick freaks, and you're two great Americans.
Mega dittos. Jesus.
What's up,
Thank
Chris?
you, sir.
Hey, well, I don't know. No, I can understand how this could happen. I'm a student pilot myself, and when you're flying, especially when you're in the pattern and you're going in, to land, you're concentrating on other aircraft in the area, especially if it's an untowered airport. I don't know the particulars of this situation, obviously, but other than what you guys just read and I've read on the internet. But if you're just in a pattern and you're listening to the radio for other aircraft, and that there's other the skydivers are there, most likely, especially with a person, if unless you're looking straight at him and you can see him right there, you're not looking up above you usually, because obviously the skydiver's falling down. That can come into your path without you even knowing about it. Most of the time, you're looking straight ahead and to your periphery.
And it's probably a top wing plane, so it's kind of hard to see if he was above the wing.
Exactly.
In the guy's vision, and yeah, wow, nasty.
So, but listen, I just got you guys obviously because I've been an XM subscriber for about a year or so, and now that you guys are off the premium, I just tuned in. So I enjoy you. You're get a little blue for me once in a while. But,
a little blue, we understand, a little blue.
But it's interesting. Hey, where's Jimmy? I miss Jimmy.
Jimmy's relaxing before his HBO special.
Yeah, he'll be back in Wednesday after his HBO special. It's a big night for him tomorrow. We're all going down to his taping for the HBO show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Well, I really want to talk to Jimmy. Jimmy and I could, I need to talk to him. I need to get some therapy from Jimmy.
All right, we'll call him next time he's in.
I will.
All right. Thank you,
guys.
Chris.
Yep, bye.
Yeah, he'll be back Wednesday after he tapes the HBO thing. Let's see. Bill from Brooklyn. Bill, what's up? Bill?
Hey, how you doing? This is Darryl from Brooklyn.
Oh, Bill. How are you?
Yeah, I was listening to y'all talking about the molesters, not molesters, the flashers. And I have a friend of mine, she works at one of the local hospitals in Manhattan, and she was telling me she was coming out one day and she noticed this guy sitting in one of the vehicles,
and he was, you know, fondling himself. So she went over and sat there next to him by his vehicle while he continued, and he couldn't finish because he was just astonished that she stood there and watched.
Wow, cramped his style.
Yeah, you know, she thought it was kind of amusing, and when she told me the story, I fell on the floor. I just really thought, you know, that was pretty cool. You know, she just caught him off guard, you know.
See, that seems like that would be the perfect thing for one of these guys that like jacking it in the car. If a girl just came up and started looking, it's like, wow, I don't even have to work for this one, you know? Kind of finish it up. But that,
exactly.
But it screwed the guy all up. It just goes to show you what mental patients these guys are.
All right. But listen, I listened to y'all in that when I was in Brooklyn. I moved out to Augusta, and it wasn't by my choice, you know, the old lady. Y'all, around the Christmas holiday, there was a song y'all played for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I think it was Hung Like a Mighty Bull.
Okay.
I couldn't quite remember the name of it. I was hoping maybe one day y'all could play that one day, because, I mean, when I first heard it,
December?
Yeah, when the calendar hits December, no problem. Remind us.
Maybe we'll do Christmas in July, Opie.
Yeah, other radio stations do that. Your brother's checking in. Brother Joe.
What's going on, guys?
Long time no hear, buddy.
How the hell are you? You know what I think happened there with that guy who was skydiving?
What?
A lot of times, like the drop zones are right around where the airports are. So that plane
Joe's a
obviously
parachuter, by the way.
landing 600 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, that student pilot beat me to the punch here. Takes a little while to get through to you guys these days, even if you are Anthony's brother.
Do you think? What do you think happened?
I'm thinking that the plane was definitely on final, and because I was a student pilot too. The guys concentrating on a lot more going on. The dude that was on that was parachuting was coming down the drop zone that was close to the airport, from what you said, and the plane was on final. The plane was landing.
Good place to be.
They happened to meet. That is the unlucky lottery.
Good place for the parachute guy to be, the skydiver to be, right in the pattern of the final approach. Hey,
absolutely horrible. But yeah, I mean, you had to see the clusterfucks that we had when I was in the Army, when I was jumping from the C-130s. And,
yeah, apparently there a lot more people get killed in the Army during like training, and you never hear about it in the news or something. But
no, shoots fail all the time, and reserves fail a lot too. And I mean, not only that, but you have jumpers that get towed, tow jumpers. That's an ugly way to go. If you don't break away, like they jump static line. All soldiers jump static line. And
that's where the plane itself pulls the ripcord instead of you having to pull it. So it won't pull it, and they'll be getting dragged by a jet.
Yeah, by either a turboprop or a jet. Yeah, doing several hundred miles an hour. You kind of bang off the side like click clack.
And what are you supposed to do to get out of that situation?
They tell you to show that you're still conscious. You're supposed to put your left hand on your steel pot on your helmet and hold the reserve with your right hand, and then they cut you loose. But obviously, if they cut the static line loose, you have to pull your reserve, and if you're knocked out, you can't pull your reserve.
Now, what if you're knocked out?
If you're knocked out, they try to pull you back in, but doing a couple of 100 miles an hour, it's kind of rough to get you back in the plane. So if you are knocked out and you're just hanging there like a rag doll, they will land with you attached to the plane. They foam the runway,
so you don't get all chewed up.
Yeah, we used to call that an airborne enema.
Oh, no one survives that though, right, Joe?
No, there were a couple of guys that did. Yeah, sure.
Getting dragged down a runway.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, you have all that foam that's supposed to keep you from getting road rash when you're being dragged down the runway a couple hundred miles an hour.
Wow, that is
brutal.
brutal.
Guys that cut away from their chutes that looks like they're going to land in the water, so they'll cut away from their main, and do like a beautiful swan dive into water, and it turns out to be a gigantic puddle that's only about 4 inches deep. So they free fall from about 75, 80 feet up.
That's amazing.
Really, really nasty things that happen. They do let some have landed in deep water, and the chute comes down and just buries you, and you get tangled up in your suspension lines and drown. There's a million ways to go skydiving, not just by failing chute.
Wow. Hey Joe, I read your instant feedbacks. Why don't you give out your email address that you want people?
Quick.
Joe's looking for a
band to you is looking for a drummer. We need We need someone that's going to be able to fill about 90 dates this year. They're booked solid. We're all over the place. We're from Maine to Virginia, as far west as Chicago, and we've done Puerto Rico. We're all over. And the pay is real good. Some interesting fringe benefits, and you just have to play the stuff exactly. You can't be a jam drummer. I'm not going to waste your time. You don't waste mine. If you know U2 inside and out, and you're a big fan of Larry Mullins, give me a call. That's how we found the last drummer. You can email me at edge@notu2.com, or you can call up at 631-331-0664. We need a drummer, obviously, in the New York metro area. New Jersey's okay, some closer parts of Connecticut. But, yeah, it'd be cool, man, if we found a drummer this way.
Cool.
That'd be great.
All right, man.
All right, thanks a lot, Ant.
Later.
Bye, Joe.
I'll talk to you soon. Say hi to the guys for me.
You got it.
Later, boys.
Anthony's brother, Joe. We should play his Up in Here thing. We haven't played in a while.
That's a good one.
This really is good. It's Anthony's brother, Joe, doing the James Taylor. Well, James Taylor's doing the Party Up song.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Up in Here?
Up in Here. Yep.
But he does it as James Taylor. This is really, really good.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me go all out up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my cool up in here, up in here. If I got to bring it to you cowards, then it's gonna be quick, alright. All you men's up in the jail before suck my dick, and all them other cats you run with get done with dumb quick. How the fuck you gonna cross the dog with some bullshit? Alright. There go the gun click, 911 shit, all over some dumb shit. Ain't that some shit? Y'all niggas remind me of a strip club. 'Cause every time you come around, it's like, what? I just gotta get my dick sucked. And I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to, but I'm not him. I ain't slim. So watch what you do, or you gon' find yourself buried next to someone else. And we all thought you loved yourself, but that couldn't have been the issue. Or maybe they just saying that now 'cause they miss you. Shit, a nigga tried to diss you. That's why you're laying on your back, looking at the roof of the church. Preacher telling the truth, and you know that it hurts. Yeah. Whoa, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me go all out up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my cool up in here, up in here. Whoa, 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 up in here. Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in here, up in here. Whoa, up in here. You make me lose my cool up in here. Lose my mind. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Y'all gonna make me up in here. Y'all gonna make me go all out.
There you have it, Brother Joe. That's one of my favorites. He's done a lot of great songs for the show, but that's one of my favorites right there.
Poor Joe missed our vacation. Our vacation was supposed to be a whole family thing, My whole family, all the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood where my mom and Sal live, bunch of people. And right before vacation, Joe starts getting this nosebleed, like a week before we were going to leave. And thinks it's just a nosebleed, It's not stopping, though. Wouldn't stop. Winds up going to the emergency room, and it's like a broken blood vessel, but it's not in a place that they can really pack it and get to it. It's like way up in like a sinus. Dude, they had to pack his nose from the back through the what they call the soft palate. I'm going to be spitting.
They had to go through his mouth?
Yes, so they went through the mouth and tucked the gauze up backwards, up into the nose, and then through the front. And, you know, while we're in the Caribbean on a boat, my brother's laying in a hospital bed with his nose packed with gauze.
For how many days?
The whole week. Like one of the whole weeks. And then they unpacked it, and it had stopped bleeding, so he was able to go home. And he wanted to, you know, take a flight out that day to catch the boat, and maybe at one of the ports, but that wouldn't have been wise. And his room, I guess, was already gone or something.
Oh,
you know, the cruise company.
You guys waited like 2 years for that vacation.
Yeah, it was about a year.
A
year, and he just got this ridiculous nosebleed. So we were calling him every day from I have a satellite phone.
Not to rub it in.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But that's just it. We want to make sure he's okay and stuff. And usually on cruises you can't get a hold of anybody. So I'm calling him on the satellite phone and trying not to sound like I'm having fun. It's like, how you doing and stuff. He goes, good. The doctor's going to check it out tomorrow. He's going to pull the gauze out of my nose and make sure.
He's talking like that?
Yeah, because it was just packed.
How bad did you feel?
I felt really bad.
As you're calling from the deck in the middle of the ocean with a nice cocktail.
I was out. I'm out. All he's hearing. Do they have any like Jamaican? What's that? Those instruments?
The steel drum.
Steel drum. Do you have like steel drum stuff or Jamaican music? Even is fine.
Well, this is the best we're going to get.
That's in the. Well, this is kind of the background.
All right.
So they packed my nose with gauze. I don't know if the bleeding doesn't stop. They might have to go. I have to go to a specialist where they'll actually cauterize the wound and stuff.
Wow, Joe, that sounds like.
Are you like
bad for you?
I'll be right there.
Yeah,
I'll be right there.
No,
save my spot on the Congo line. I'll be right there.
Now, 2 banana daiquiris, and get me some towels, because I'm going to lay in this beach chair here.
And the blood was dripping into the back of my throat, and I could taste it the whole time. And it's really...
Yeah.
Well, how's the cruise going?
Yeah, it sucks, Joe. It really isn't... No, that chick should put her top on.
Yeah, well, he says I'm going to have to be here till, like, Saturday.
Sign me up for the limbo contest.
Saturday. You'll be in there till Saturday? Let me think. Saturday. I think we're at St. Thomas on Saturday. Yeah, that's where we are.
Saturday. I think that's the day I'm going to be doing some jet skiing.
Yeah, maybe a little jet skiing, maybe some parasailing on that Saturday.
Brother Joe.
You fucking Harvard prick. Jesus Christ.
Dude, I felt so bad for you.
It sucked. Hey, you know what they're saying up there? This could probably... now, the doctor said it was impossible to do what they call digital trauma.
Digital trauma?
They call it digital trauma that deeply. Like, it was what they call a posterior bleed. You can't see where it was coming from, so they couldn't cauterize it. Otherwise, it would have gone.
But the digital trauma is picking your nose.
Know who knows about digital trauma? My doctor. Oh, he's an expert on that digital trauma.
That's up the ass, though. You might be able to relate to this. One Sunday morning, I'm laying in bed. My nose is really dry, and I had this. It was a fucking rivet of snot all the way up my nostril.
Yeah.
So you kind of, you know, your pinky is dry, your nostril is dry. You reach up there and you really fucking wang at it.
Oh.
Really, like, go for it.
Oh, I hate these stories. Bookers, yeah.
Man, believe me, I don't make a habit of doing this, but when you have one of those dried up boogers that will not fucking let loose when you blow your nose, you got to do this,
It's
right?
like having a Japanese star up in your nose, one of those Chinese stars.
What ended up happening was, I think what I did, now the doc says it's almost impossible to do this, but I think I actually tore a blood vessel due to the motion of the nostril, not even like digging in with your fingernail or getting through to like one of the capillaries that are on the surface. I broke a major blood vessel back there. I snapped it in half. So it wasn't healing. What would happen was when it would start bleeding, it would bleed so heavy that the blood would coagulate, and I would blow a fucking red jellyfish out of my nose.
Ah!
It was like that scene from Poltergeist when that thing was coming out of the guy's nose.
Yeah.
That bad.
Oh.
And they couldn't stop it from, by using Standard methods. They had to put me in the hospital for 8 fucking days.
8 days while we were on a ship.
Not moving. I had to lay in the hospital for 8 days.
I called him from my deck once, out of my room, and it was so, like, I hear the water just kind of splashing against the ship's hull, looking out over blue water. And he's just talking.
The old man pissing next to me.
That's the one of Joe's hearing. The old man's bedpan. We're running out of time, Joe.
All right, brothers. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, man.
Joe, everyone.
He was miserable.
Yeah, it's awful. I wish I could, damn, I'm so pissed. I wish I could be there.
No, you really don't want to be here. You don't want to. Yeah, no, I'll be in the pool. 1 minute.
Program complete.